Save me!
And hello, welcome to Roll the Story, the Claude Coast. So, feels like it's been ages, but last week, it wasn't last week, it was the week before. You guys had finally got your hands on the, what's it called? The Star Sapphire. But we did have to have a little flashback to the day before, and that was where you guys had woken up. You'd made a plan to go to this elemental plane of fire and find this syndicate. Instead, you guys had some time to kill and maybe some gold to earn. So you were wandering the streets before you came across the notice board and looked up all the different activities that were available in the Claude Coast. And after all of the missions, all of the important escort missions, you decided to settle on the sandcastle competition, which didn't have any winnings at all. But, and it was mainly intended for children. But you went there and gate crashed it, and managed to make some beautiful works of art using magic as well. And yeah, so after that, wait, was that all we did with last session? We just made
Just had the meeting with the vizier.
Oh yeah,
The important part.
yeah. Okay, so the meeting with the vizier. It seemed as though he, the vizier marveled at the fact that you were even alive, Irina, and said that it was a miracle that you had even escaped the shattered city. He said that no one ever comes back from the alive or dead, and that he's had some of his own wizards and sorcerers sort of investigate, but it seems as though Tunbridge is the one running the full investigation. It's a big deal, and it's been 10 years. So trade has taken on a different life, and everyone's concerned about what really happened. It's still a mystery. But having someone come from the inside, you're effectively the most valuable information that could possibly be given right now. You also tried to discuss subtly the state of the Sultan's thief, aka Andy's mother, but it seemed as though he was reluctant to tell you guys, almost as if it was classified information. But eventually, you kind of got it out of him that the thing that was stolen wasn't necessarily a treasure, not necessarily a thing, but more a person. And now that person is potentially all grown up. It's very hard to identify them. And so that's why they're tracking down Andy's mother rather than her, because obviously she's going to know where they went. The last they found, the last trail was hot, was basically following Andy's mother into the capital city of Midra. And then that's when the catastrophic event happened. So it seems almost tied to that conversation in the end. Kind of went full circle. Other than that, I think that's about all I remember, important details wise, for the catch up. So we'll return back to Little Palace. Here we go. Yeah. Yes. It is still present time. Sorry, still past time at the moment, yeah. And you're still in the palace, but he's probably looking around and saying, anyway, I've drunk plenty of wine. I think, unless there's any more questions, we shall adjourn this meeting.
I suppose the only other thing to ask is, Wait, wrong voice. Other than what we've already discussed, is there any other way that we can be of assistance to yourselves?
In terms of investigation or in terms of the Shattered City?
Yeah, just in terms of anything really. Like, do you need know some criminals rounded up, different criminals than the one we were discussing? Do you need some monster exterminated? I don't know. I just thought I'd ask in case there's anything you needed.
Well, there is plenty of jobs on notice board outside, but as for actual important things, most of our attention has been centered around the Shattered City.
Fair enough.
In fact, he said he already asked you for something last session. He said, it seems the Levellin knows this Terig person. If he is indeed as powerful a wizard as you have implied,
Oh yeah, yeah. We should
then
probably go talk to him.
I would request that you contact this Terig and find out as much information as possible.
Yeah, I
Seems
think
as
that
though
might be. I think that will benefit us as well as yourselves.
then that is all I request. I would not suggest going anywhere near the Shattered City, not in its current state, and not while we do not have enough information.
Speaking of
You know what?
information, I'm gonna sidle over to the door where I saw the little library, and I'm just like, can I go and be nosy?
He gestures over towards it and opens the door for you. Be my guest, Irina.
Whee!
I will get another glass. He's going to pour themselves some wine.
As the vizier of a place that is quite prominent with the Genasi, and I'm getting echo, which is throwing me off.
Sorry, the acoustics in here are awful.
Yeah. Would you happen to know anything about a place called the Crystal Caves? Just if anyone might know.
I've heard much about this legend. Yes. The Crystal Cave has, get this, supposedly even been found within the Cloud Coast itself.
And whereabouts was it found, supposedly?
In fact, let us join Irene in the library.
Yeah. And then there's one other thing that just popped into my... Oh, is that auto measure? Oh, that's cool. I haven't even selected anything.
You've discovered the first of many changes within Foundry. Yes, it is called Drag Ruler. And if you hold down the right click, you'll also pinpoint. You can draw a path out.
So the green is my movement, the yellows are my dash, and then the red is what you can't do.
Why is mine all red? No matter how far I go.
I broke your legs. You've just got your speed set to 0 for some reason.
Why is
your walking speed should be 30, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
My fly speed, if I use it, would be 50. Just my thing.
Yeah, in that case, that might be subject to change, but at least you can see the increments of 30, 60.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty cool. All right, entering into the library, he's going to pull out one of the books he knows where to find immediately. And he says, well, it says here that Crystal Cave was once spotted somewhere past the dry oasis. Are those lands there? And he kind of gestures towards what looks to be like a crude map. The lands are currently not in our protection, our jurisdiction. There are bands of raiders. They have taken over that portion of the desert there. And he points to the kind of north and west of the dry oasis.
How long ago was it in there?
The Crystal Cave could have been a century ago, for all I know. There is no exact time. It is simply an urban legend.
So no guarantee that it's still there.
No, many people have already tried to find it. They've either been lost within the deserts, attacked by raiders, or simply come back empty-handed.
It's annoying because supposedly it moves, so trying to if we could find a few reference points, we might be able to work out how it moves and when it moves, sort of thing. So, oh well. The other thing I was gonna ask is, whilst we were at the Crab's Gem,
Ah, yes.
we found some letter which I can't remember the exact details of, but seemed to be like the end of a quest or like riddle
So-
or something.
Yeah, it was a riddle.
And I was wondering if that might mean anything to you. You're a more scholarly man than me.
Intriguing. I will have a look.
Bring
I will
it out.
hand it to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He handed it to him.
Right.
Um,
Wherever it, yeah, wherever it is.
I do not recognize this handwriting, but I can assure you it's obviously a discarded note. Someone's found what they were looking for and then moved on.
Fair enough. Thought it was worth asking. Do you know any of uses for exceptionally purified water?
There are some rituals that require very particular components, but not one I can think of off the top of my head.
Radio, that's fine with me. Just thought I'd ask. I'll
Does
leave.
sound like, it does sound like a component for a spell, though.
Well, yep. Just gonna chill over here, I guess. Unless you've got any, like, I mean, I'm imagining most of these texts are like historical texts and things like that.
They are, yes. But that doesn't mean I enjoy some fiction from time to time.
Now, considering how long Irina will probably be, if you got a good book recommendation, I'll just sit here and wait.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Where do these books get printed from?
Print? What is
No.
this print?
You know, people copying them, making books.
They're
Ah,
called scribes.
scribes, yes.
I-
Printers.
Lavella knew that word, and that is exactly what he said.
Irina's literally just
Jamie-
like, that was my first ever job.
No.
Jamie's brain was not there.
I wouldn't
Oh.
put it past Thumbridge to have found some sort of method to
That's
automate
true.
that.
Like the old printers where they used
Well,
to get
you'll
like the
be-
roller.
I mean-
the ink.
I mean,
Hmm.
if I have a magical quill, why wouldn't there be magical quills?
They don't rain from the sky.
Screen printing.
Unless you're a school of scribes wizard.
Oh yeah, one of those new things.
Genasi have lived here for centuries. The capital city is not the only ones with a league of scribes under their belt.
Yeah, but how would we go about getting books copied?
Would you want something copied?
Yeah, when you take a look at this and hand Elravan's
Oh, you're gonna try to get Elravan's book
Storybook.
published.
his storybook full of amazing tales and adventures.
Which
This-
just happened to be spells.
I'm just, a friend of mine passed this along, and I'm looking to have it shared about.
This is a spell book. Is it not?
Yes and no, but
Hmm.
he was a storyteller.
That is quite the intriguing cipher, I must say. Disguising the spells as simple stories. Ingenious.
I mean, there's actually a story at the back which I wrote. To be fair,
He wrote a natural 20, and like immediately you can start seeing the cipher behind it. It says, I myself am not a wizardly type, but more of a more comes naturally. But I can assure you, some in the city would have great
well,
interest in this.
well, I'm not necessarily looking to share it about as a spell book. I'm looking to share it out as a storybook.
Well, you know, I could
Right.
make a copy
Oh.
of it, no problem, without magical properties. Rather than you shoving
Well,
like
course.
Elravan's spellbook in people's faces. Just saying.
I wasn't
You have a
shoving it. I was just,
No, but
you know,
what I mean is, like, obviously, you're showing it to magic users. It's got clearly got spells in there that you don't necessarily want certain people knowing. I could make a copy that doesn't have the spell components within it, and then you could show that to people to get it printed.
you can do that. I thought you
That's-
just read books and kept them safe.
He hands you back
That's
the
what
book,
I
Llewellyn.
do.
He says, I will humbly decline this offer because you already have one of the world's best scribes within your midst.
It's why I can
Oh,
read
God,
every language.
You're just feeding her ego.
Feed the
Yeah.
fire!
It's not.
I
It's
call
it's
it
it's not
flattery.
that. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just I don't want it to be destroyed.
You
It's
take that back, Llewellyn.
it's very. This is very precious to me. It belongs to
Which
a.
is why
friend.
I'm saying I'd make a copy you didn't have to hand out to other people. Oh my god, Lavellen!
Yeah. Yeah. Just.
Well,
I'm sorry.
He's worried you'll accidentally burn out.
even a master swordsman can cut themselves, such as a wizard can accidentally trap themselves. And with that, I think we'll catch.
Rena is genuinely hurt. Ow!
It's a dead friend's book. I'm just like very
I carry around
cautious.
my dead friend's skull and it's still intact.
I don't know it's your dead friend's skull. It's just a skull to me.
Disapproving looks from the salt. I'm sure you've made mistakes before, Llewellyn. I'm sure you'll make them again in the future. No one is perfect.
You can almost guarantee that.
In fact,
I give him about 24 hours ish before he probably gets himself in another mess.
Nah, I don't make mistakes. I make happy accidents and adventures.
Irina, not that book.
Not that
Not
book?
that one.
Not that one?
You just pulled
What
out
one's he saying
something
I
from the
can't read?
shelf.
What's his dust?
He's pointing at
What's the title of this book?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking of right now. God.
Have I found his secret stash of saucy books?
It's his diary.
What? No. Actually, as it happens. Oh. Why would he keep his diary on the shelf? He
In plain
says
sight.
well else
Hide it in plain sight, you know.
funnily enough. Yeah, it's funnily enough, it is called Erato, which is known as the muse of love poetry and lyric poetry.
Oh, I'm totally reading
Ah.
this
One of the
one.
muses. Yeah, I know you would. As you pull it off the shelf, though, you hear a rumbling
Secret
sound,
entrance.
and the bookshelf swings open.
Oh,
Oh,
All right, I think this is quite enough now.
oh,
Adventure.
this just got interesting.
No, no,
What are you
this
hiding
is
down
off
here?
limit.
Ooh.
adventure.
Beanie Babies. Now let's come back, everyone, please. I do not wish to call the guards.
Carius, do you want to go on an adventure? I mean,
Party
what?
pooper.
Honestly, I kind of don't want to piss off the person who's second in
No,
command.
I'm
to
I'm
all of
only
my
winding you
contracts.
up. It's fine.
What's
This is perhaps once we are more acquainted, and I'll let you into a realm.
plus? He
That's a good
can't
time to
arrest
say
us. He needs us. I jokingly say.
Right, I'm gonna carry on looking through the bookshelves.
More secrets.
Making like a mental note as to what book opens that passage. Just for later reference.
Funny enough, it's something you kind of recently learned about in that Museum of Muses, and this is detailing one all about them. And there is actually a collection of them. All 9 of them are listed here. But yeah. Don't breathe water.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Alright, I'm looking for anything that sort of
Unless you're a fish.
references either the capital, mentions of Evermore, or like crossing hedges.
Okay. There doesn't. You can roll an investigation check first to while I turn my fan on. 'Cause I'm to it. Okay. There doesn't seem to be any information on Evermore. Perhaps it's too far east for them to really have much detail on.
Well, I imagine if they did have
Um,
anything on
uh,
Evermore, it'd probably be more like a fiction book rather than a non-fiction. So, like folk tales,
Yeah,
myths,
potentially.
legends.
You remember there might have been more on Evermore in this capital city because that would have been much closer, and um, they would have actually had trade and ongoing visits. But yeah, Sword Coast way too far out. And what was the other question about?
Hedges, like crossing through hedges, and the capital.
Okay. The hedges, same thing again. That
Not
is
something that's common
almost
around
tied.
here then.
Yeah, no, not to mention there's no hedges for miles. But
There is
they do
one because I
mention
put it there.
there is books about the far west and how dangerous those lands are and how uncivilized they are. Pretty much, there's no population like humanoid population that far. Like all the dragons have pretty much taken over majority of that land. Which makes you guys feel quite small and insignificant, but seems as though they've been kept at bay for the most part
Could
by being bribed and paid off. And the Blue Dragons are quite happy about that. But yes, there is a history about that, and you've already got that book pretty much about that. So that's nothing new. The last thing about the capital city, yes, there was trade amongst the capital city and Guidia. There's been plenty of negotiations as well. There was even a time when the capital city wanted to try and stop the war that was going on. They thought best not to make enemies of one of their, I guess, best trading partners in the realm. So rather than interfere, they kind of took the back seat and let them get on with it. And this was the war between the other kingdoms, which don't really exist anymore. But you have seen their ruins. The Rattling Ruins was once a entire city in of itself, now buried pretty much beneath the sands. And the Camel Hump Dunes are also a grisly reminder of the battles that took place across those deserts. And you would see there's not much talk. Again, with the 16, it seems as though the capital city didn't really have much of a slice in this history because they didn't want to get involved. They kind of just let the magic missiles fly and waited for it to all blow over.
The last thing I just really, really briefly, sorry, Jamie, I just briefly want to check for is I'm literally just going to walk along the shelves like I'm perusing and browsing. I'm looking for anything that discusses, like famous bards or the last name Al Amin, violin makers, anything like that. I'm just pretending to peruse, but I'm specifically. They know something, and he's got to have a connection to them somehow. I ain't leaving with no answers.
Roll another investigation check. Another 16. Okay. With the 16, you don't actually find what you're looking for. But it's nothing that specific, like, oh yes, this family line is blah blah blah.
Well, no, that's why I'm
you
looking for
find-
bards and violin makers. That's like a
Yes.
start point.
I will say though that there are some books that you start to pick up on like a breadcrumb. You start to figure out, yes, music in this land is weird to say, but it's highly coveted. Like musicians, instruments, music is like it. It's like it's a commodity. Like people will pay for incredibly talented musicians to play at, like, for example, weddings or events and such, and they are celebrified. They're not just random minstrels getting by. Some bards are incredibly prestigious, and such to the point where they will play at official events with the Sultan as well. And you're starting to get like a breadcrumb trail that's pointing towards something important, but you don't find a detailed description of Al Amin or anything that points towards Andy's lineage or family line. But you feel like it could be there. You're just not finding it. You're not just pinpointing it. You're kind of on the outskirts of that information.
Yeah, as I said, I'm more looking sort of. I'm browsing the shelf, looking at like the titles of certain books, thinking, okay, I can check that one out later, elsewhere where I'm not got some guy over my shoulder who's potentially the reason for him being dead.
It might be that what this 16 represents is you're about to find it, but then there does seem to be some gaps within the library. It's the actual shelf itself. Almost as if potentially these books have been taken out because they're pertinent to the investigation.
Okay. In which case, I'm just going to pick a book at random and go sit and read it until the Vellon's done.
Yeah. All right.
So, I am looking to solidify that what's happened in the capital city is part of my world. I want to look up any books to do with the gold dragons and if there's been any sightings within the 10 years since the disaster at the capital.
Okay. So you're going
And
through more like documents and such.
yeah, and secondly, about the Shadowfell and how that might prolonged exposure to being in there might change a creature, and how it could it change creatures as powerful as a dragon.
Uh,
So
on investigation check.
two different things, but connected.
Okay, roll 2 investigation.
We'd roll better if we helped each other, but we haven't been. We're looking at different things. Oh god.
I'm mad at
Okay.
Okay, and the other one?
16
16.
again.
Okay. We'll start with the 16. There isn't much information on the planes here. This isn't a wizards or mage towers library. Seems like a lot of it's maybe personal collection. There are documents, however, as this is the viziers of it. So you'd imagine there'd be important, detailed um, documents and such and files. So the 16 don't really find anything on the Shadowfell. You don't, or at least you may do, but you don't find anything more than what you already know. Um,
Mm.
so that's a bit of a bummer. But I will say though, you know that the Shadowfell isn't just a place over there. It's not a place over here. The Shadowfell is everywhere, all around you. It is a mirror realm of the material plane, and a shadow crossing can appear almost anywhere there is a great amount of death or a dark place
Or a
where there
portal.
is no light.
Yeah.
So the Shadowfell might feel like it could be over there by the Shadowed City, but it's actually right beneath your feet, right behind this bookcase, for example. Maybe in there's a shadow crossing in his cellar. You don't know, but that's as much as I'll say on the Shadowfell. It is literally a breath away in terms of planar relation. Anyway, with the 25, oh yes, there is almost every document and detail, and you can see a lot of them have been recently pulled as well. They're not like dusty. You can see their spines are regularly cracked. They are history detailing everything up to that point. So yes, there were gold dragons. They were sighted at the capital city, soaring towards it. In fact, it is noted that the gold dragons were scattered across the land, all in their own little pockets, disguised as humanoids. But some say that some like farmers or some more civilizations on the outskirts and small towns did spot like dragons swooping over. One of them would have been from the Clawed Coast itself, from Gydia. So they can only assume that one of the gold dragons did reside there. Another spotted one swooping from what was it? From Thumbridge as well. And they all converge on the capital city. So all
One
of these
from
documents have been kind of detailed together. Yes, 7
What-
dragons did assemble.
But
The
had they been sighted since the calamity?
and
The
no, nope, no sightings of gold dragons, and that is also something realized perhaps by the blue dragons, and it's potentially why they decided to start making their push into the Clawed Coast, realizing, gold dragons haven't been around for a while, meaning that these gold dragons didn't just sit in hiding, they were protectors, they were balance keepers, and they may have been working in secret to maintain some semblance of peace between nations, between types of creatures. And now that these gold dragons have gone, there is actually a danger that evil powers are making a play, and that could be
so
across different cities, different continents.
so this confirms our theory of you know, I was pretty much one of the last sightings of seeing the gold dragons, and
Yes.
and what Irina saw in the probably was the gold dragons, but whatever the Shadowfell did to them, and I'll show this to Irina and point it out.
Okay.
So that's confirming a theory. Interesting.
Yeah, there have been, I guess, numerous little documents of stirrings in other lands as well. Not necessarily full-blown evil plans at play, but it does feel like these gold dragons were a force of good in the world, and now they're not there. People are getting nervous.
They were the dragons of Bahamut, right?
Correct. Yes.
Is there any knowledge that Bahamut is a being that exists, or a non-physical being like a god? And if he is or she has there been any sighting of an extra large dragon since his protectors have gone?
You can roll an investigation check. I'm gonna learn about Bahamut, but
Not very good.
doesn't seem to be much on religion here.
Not very
Mostly
good.
don't find anything on Bahamut.
Damn it. That would have been a good one. That
There's
would have been.
history. Yeah, I don't know if they would have, but maybe more like a temple could find that information. There's like oodles of documents and history here, but not much on religion and planes and such.
Bahamut didn't specifically have anything to do with the capital, so therefore they've not got any information on it.
That, and because it's like, hey, did you spot God the other day? Or did you see God anywhere today? Like, Bahamut is up on the level of in the higher pantheons, so he's
It's on
you're
his
not
face
going to
when
really
I'm
find
talking
information about. Yeah. So no, there's nothing like that. There are perhaps documents on like locations of. Actually, funny enough, that 8 also represents the lack of information about potential temples for Bahamut. You can't find any.
I'm gonna do a little bit of a birthday surprise for her. Let's go.
Huh.
There's no like, oh yeah, if you want to learn about Bahamut, go here. They're extremely rare temples.
I mean, I've seen a picture of Bahamut,
It's your birthday today, right?
but
Yeah.
that's about it. So I
You've
know
seen
what
a
he.
sta- You've seen a statue of them as well.
Yeah, but that's as much as I've ever seen.
Correct.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's a thing to note, though, is that the information is rare, and that there are no temples to Bahamut. At least, nothing you could find.
Nothing easily found.
Nope.
No.
Or known. Publicly known. The other thing. There are definitely worshippers of Bahamut out there.
But they
You'd
probably
have to
don't really have temples specifically. I bet the temples were really only known by the gold dragons themselves.
You'd have to stumble upon one of the followers to perhaps gain this information, or a library that more specializes in religious text.
Cool.
Alright. Okay. Is that all good? Any more questions here, or are you guys good to go on to the next scene, or rather, Back to the Future, back to the present? We're good. Okay.
Yep.
All
All
right
good.
then.
I'm not
I'm gonna
good.
be really
in the
annoying,
future.
and I'm gonna give the Vizier a hug before we go, just to irritate him, and then be like, "Bye."
All right. He definitely hugs back and he places his hands on your arms and says, "Irina, it has been a pleasure to make your acquaintance once again. Don't do anything reckless. Make sure you come back alive. And if you need to contact me again, do not hesitate. You are valuable to this investigation. You are valuable to the lives that reside within the shattered city. You're valuable to me. And he gives you a warm smile.
I just give his face a pat and a walk.
Socially, Llewellyn goes to give a hug, but then goes, actually, do I do that to a vizier? And then just settles for a goes for a high five. He doesn't know to be social with people in that sort of manner. He's like, what?
He just gives you a head nod. Gareth, he gives you a handshake.
Yep. Garrett
left-
shakes his hand.
Left me hanging.
The Damsey family are still a important part of trade within the Claude Coast. I will have my Griffin riders leave as soon as possible.
Excellent, but maybe try to keep him on the down low so as not to cause panic.
Of course, it is not like I am sending the entire Air Force. Just a
No.
few to keep the eyes in the sky.
Yeah. Yep, that should be about it.
Speaking of which, your guy, what's
nice.
his name? Ross. He deserves a promotion. He was a really big help to us.
Although, if you are going to send people out to the Damsey family, don't send Ross.
Well, if he's in line for a promotion, then that's precisely who I'll be sending.
But he's a bit scared of ghosts, and I hear there's loads of ghosts down in the south.
Don't be silly. We turned all the undead years ago. We're literally
You're talking
clerics.
You're talking about a family of clerics. Nice try, Llewellyn. Now get out of my life.
But if you do want to really test him, set him somewhere which is supposed to be haunted just to see if he copes. He needs to get over that fear.
As we all do. We
Indeed.
need to overcome our fears. This is the only way we can overcome our adversities. May the sun bathe you.
Speaking of
And
sun,
with
I need to go
that,
find Candlewick. Because I'm cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
may the dawn's radiance shine brightly for you.
Yeah. As we're leaving, I just said to Carius, like, you really are okay with a dodgy guard guarding your family?
Honestly, it's not so much they're there to guard, they're more there to help escort people. If anyone will need guarding down there, it's him from my family.
Yeah. He's just, he's a bit dodgy. He does side dealings. He tries to charge people for visas, and
Yeah.
Literally,
he's a
I
bit
know.
on the. He helped
Yeah.
us, but
Yeah,
tried
but you've got to remember that my sister's an investigator, so, if he goes down there and he gets found out, big points for us.
I was just trying to, be helpful to your family to not have a dodgy guard sent there.
He'll be fine. He's not that dodgy, he just likes to make deals, and honestly, who are we to judge? Exactly.
So, upon leaving the inner chambers of the vizier, you come out to where there is effectively like the searches and the the vetting going on, and there is two guards, and they are currently going through the belongings of a certain blonde-haired half-elf, and he turns around to you guys, and it seems to be like an argument going on. You can hear raised voices as you're approaching, and you can say, you can hear him saying, he's like, "Hey, don't touch me, and don't touch my stuff. Oh my God, you're gonna make a mess of everything. Ugh. Wait, you don't ever. I know the vizier. It's fine. You don't even have to search me. I'm chill." And the guards are like, stop being a hassle. And he says, go get the other guards. If he's gonna be like this, we're gonna need more
I'm just
manpower.
gonna come out
And
with sort of wave and be like, "Come to collect our things. We're done with the vizier now."
he says, of course, your stuff is over here. And as he's bringing you over, Chad does spot you. And he's like, oh, guys, there you are. Did you finish with your little meeting?
Yep, all done. And a bit of advice for you: these guards are a bit no nonsense, so you're probably gonna have to leave your stuff here with Skelly Chad.
No, he wouldn't have brought Skelly Chad, probably, would he?
Skelly Chad
I
goes
don't
everywhere
think
with Chad,
he
so
didn't,
yeah.
he didn't bring Skelly
No,
Chad
he
with him,
don't.
though,
No, he didn't really.
when we
No.
went
He
to go
didn't.
and find our...
Anyway. Yeah, you didn't. Because it would have been too grim. Skeletons walking around. But yeah, there is another guard that comes back. It's that same heavily armor-clad knight that you saw from before. And yeah, he's kind of got like this. What is it called? He's got like massive pauldrons, blonde hair, kind of coming back down from the back of the helmet. And Chad sees him. He sees Chad, and Chad's like, "All right, okay. If you're gonna get out the big boys, then fine. I can hold on to my stuff. Don't break it." And you just see the armored figure kind of nod, almost like the helmet is kind of like covering their eyes, but you can definitely see they're kind of like rolling their eyes underneath their helmet, and they turn around and head back where they came.
As we're collecting our stuff, I lean over and just say, I'd be careful with that one. I hear he hides things in certain places. Wink, wink. And then walk out with my stuff.
Ben,
It's
we're
the way.
supposed to be business partners, and you're
I hear-
soiling the good name of Chadney.
I hear you like to be vetted down. And then I
I was
walk.
gonna say, he just gave you a free right to get pat down by this guy.
You know what? Next time you come by my casino, I'll make sure the guards give you a good frisk as well.
He enjoys it.
Oh no!
Oh, does he? This is news development. Anyway, after this brief passing, Chadney actually goes into the vizier's chambers as well, believe it or not. And you guys are free to return back into Guidia proper. And I think with that, unless there's anything else we want to do in the evening, we're going to skip over to present day, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Alright, so
Yeah.
fast forwarding through the annals of time,
Yeah. You know.
we find ourselves back after meeting Opal, after traversing the elemental plane of fire and discovering the Molten Monastery, fighting off the monks there, and as well as trying to capture Syndicate Apogee. They barely got away by a goblin's whisker. Snapped the staff of power, made this huge explosion go off, and there was nothing more of him to be seen. You guys met with the Freety leader here, and he was about to do something to Llewellyn, to even brand him. You resurrected the monks that had fallen in battle, and sort of saved yourself that potential enemy. Instead, you had a sparring match, and you're welcome to stay here for as long as you need to before teleporting back to material. However, during that time, Llewellyn, you had to open up that bag and see what was inside. It looked just like a bag of holding. It was indistinguishable from it.
It did. It did.
And when you opened that up, you felt yourself pulled in, swallowed whole. And the last thing you heard was Shadow kind of like going, "What the?" And that was it. You fell to the rest of the belongings fell to the floor, and you were whisked away, where you met a very peculiar individual. Or at least maybe they weren't an individual. They almost appeared and spoke with this kind of autonomous, like, nature to them. And they gave you some advice whilst you were here. That you had mere seconds to act. And that you were to head over to a certain container, pull out something and stare into the eyes of it. And upon realizing this was actually Medusa's head, you tried to turn it around and petrify whatever creature this was that was lurking towards you. And as that didn't seem to have any effect, you turned it on yourself, just as you was being completely swallowed once again. And then that was it. It kind of all went dark from that point on.
Yeah.
So, we're going to jump to the others to find out what they are going to do.
Yeah.
You haven't got Tiny Hut anymore, because technically you've left it. So Chatters is rushing over to the rest of the pie, and he says, guys, we have a problem, and that problem is Llewellyn, but...
What
Yeah.
the no?
I'm just
That's what I came to you guys for, because I don't know. You better come see.
alright. Let's go have a look.
Okay.
You'd be amazed how many people do that by accident. Like
No.
I've seen people
Alright,
who
you
like
come back
didn't know
in.
it was a bag of holding, stick their head in them without trying to think of anything, and just in there for ages. It's ridiculous.
Right, so I see Skelechad, I see a potted plant. He hasn't turned himself into a potted plant, has he? Be hilarious, but I'm kind of hoping it's not the case.
No, that was already there. But the bag was the last thing he was holding, and I swear, as I turned my head, I saw him kind of get nommed.
The
Mimic?
bag
I'm not
nommed
touching.
him.
I'm not touching that thing. But I swear, it kind of its face moved and twitched, and it like literally swallowed him.
What exactly was he trying to do?
He was gonna reach inside, I think, trying to look for some
He
shinies or something.
was probably looking for make sure what we came for was actually in there.
Yeah.
Well, then, if it's just like a bag of have we been? Sorry, have I been told what a bag of holding does? Because obviously, I don't want to.
Yeah, you do.
Cool.
You
Okay,
do know
cool.
what a bag.
Yeah, like obviously
So-
when we saw it in the casino, we probably all nerded out about it because they're so
Ah,
rare.
okay. So then, it's like you said. If we turn it inside out, then all of the contents will spill out. So
Well, if he says
Well-
that its face changed and it nommed him, a little bit concerning. It may be cursed, so
it's
let
a
me
mimic.
take a look.
We have to kill it.
It could be, but let me just check it's not cursed first.
Oh God, a mimic bag of holding.
That's essentially what it is.
Okay.
That's terrifying.
How do you go about checking it?
Kind of what a bag devouring is.
I'm,
in a
I'm
way.
not going to touch the bag. I'm going to sort of sit within range of it, but I'm not going to touch it. And then I'm going to get Candlewick to circle it like he would if he's assessing a curse, essentially. So like I did with Captain Monty Pot, Candlewick is going to sort of go round it and do an assessment. Does it seem like a curse? Or...
Okay.
Bleeding. I am
I roll an Arcana check. Bleeding.
Arcana. Yes, I cut my thumb. 26.
Nice.
Okay. Curses can be bound to objects, and when those objects are destroyed, it can undo the curse. In this particular instance, that bag very well could be the object of the curse, but normally it's something more than just a bag. It can be like a vessel. You're kind of thinking to yourself, you've seen like curses take place. Some of them can be effigies, some of them can be very peculiar things, like a jar filled with smoke. But this one in particular doesn't spring to mind any curses. It doesn't. It looks too simple to be of a cursed nature. But then that might be part of the trick, is that it
Okay.
does seem completely simple.
It doesn't seem to be cursed. If I poke it with Candlewick Scabbard, does it stick to it like a mimic would?
No, it does not. It is
Okay.
not adhesive or sticky like a mimic.
It's not a mimic, and I don't think it's cursed. I am gonna cast Remove Curse just in case.
I'm not echoing, am I?
You are, a little bit.
No, not at the
That's
moment.
No, that's just the fan. Okay, cool. All right, you can cast Remove Curse. Yeah, sure. Is
Just
that a
to be
touch
safe?
spell? Oh, interesting.
Let me check. I don't think it is. Oh, actually, it might be. Hold on.
You touch an object that is cursed.
Yeah, it says at your
That it could
touch.
touch. So yes, I
Okay.
like if I know it's not adhesive and I know it's not a mimic, I will touch it and cast Remove Curse.
Okay. So, and what does your Remove Curse look like again? Just
It's essentially Candlewick kind of goes in and burns it from the inside out and burns the curse away.
ooh. Okay.
So obviously,
Well,
if it's
at this
not
point, you'd
cursed,
have
it's
to-
not possible.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I like the idea. You can like burn it like you're
Yeah, I burn
effectively
the curse away from the inside, cleansing it.
yeah, it's almost like you're like a cauterizing, like you would cauterize a wound effectively. Okay, so let me just grab this. Here we go.
Sorry, it's
Alright.
just got to that scene in Ragnarok where he's doing the lightning thing. The music's really cool.
Did you see the cool effect?
We were distracted
Nice.
by cool.
Well, no,
lights
because
effects.
I haven't got the animations running on the Mac because it
Oh yeah, that's true.
slows it down.
I don't know that. Anyway, regardless, this kind of smoke enters into the bag. You see it moving around and burning it away, and all around it. At this point, you would confirm it definitely is a magical item, because if it was a normal bag, it would have burnt up. But you can assume that that has done the job. But you didn't feel like a curse was broken. You didn't feel like something was purified. You
Well,
just felt
I've
like
done
the
Remove
spell.
Curse. I know it's not a mimic, so
ended.
at this point, I'm going to put my hand in and try to pull them out.
Oh no.
I know I know the bag has
Chad
eaten
stops
the
you for just a
melon.
moment.
What was
Okay,
that?
so Chad's gonna stop you at this point and say, just want to point out that he disappeared when he reached in. So if you're gonna do that, I salute you and good luck. And he's gonna give you inspiration,
Alright.
bardic inspiration.
If I disappear, maybe take the bag to
You know
a
what?
professional.
I mean, I could hold.
Professional back person?
Maybe?
I'm also going to cast Bless on you.
I could hold
Oh,
on
no.
to you, so at least I could try and anchor.
Well, the thing
that's
is like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So play it safe. If I don't, if it does eat me too, I don't know what to do.
That's very reassuring.
But
How
you're
much
the
do I
smart
know?
one.
Exactly. So, I have a question, really quickly. How much do I know about bags of holding? And how they work?
Oh. Roll an Arcana check.
24.
You know a lot. You know the details of a bag of holding. To
So
its,
I know, like,
to the
inside
T.
out, everything tips out. I know if ripping it will obviously destroy
You
the
know about
contents,
putting another.
essentially.
In fact, with the 24, you also know about putting a bag of holding inside another bag of holding. can have catastrophic effects.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no one rip this bag open, please, because if it does eat me and it's eaten Llewellyn, we're gone for good, and I don't want that.
I don't think any of us want that.
Try risking turning it inside out, but again, it could still potentially do this, so wish me luck.
You also know you have not much air inside there.
Yeah.
Well.
So
All right.
here we go.
I would like you. So, roll a D2.
D2.
Yep.
Mhm.
And what was it last time? And what did Llewellyn roll last time?
I rolled a 2 last time. I
You
thought
did, didn't you?
I thought 2 was going to be the good one, but it turns out it wasn't.
No. 1 you stay, 2 you go. All
So
right.
Does it work? Do I pull the
Irina.
melon out of the bag like a bunny out of a hat?
You begin pushing your hand inside the bag, and at first it is completely empty, as you'd expect. But that's because with a bag of holding, you have to. Oh wait, no, that's the other one. Okay, no, yeah, I'm thinking of handy haversack. We have to imagine what it is. Okay, cool. So at first, it does feel like an extra dimensional space. There's a lot of it, but as it kind of like draws around towards you, you can feel there are other objects in here. You feel parchment, you feel glass, and you feel a number of different items. Some are like pitons. You can feel like the shaft of a sword. There's all kinds of little items in here, and it is an action to pull forth something, but as
All
you're
I know
going through,
Is like Llewellyn is in here. I'm searching for a hook.
yeah. Oh, a hook. Okay,
That's
well,
distinct. So
yeah,
I'm
roll-
a hook that's got something heavy attached. So therefore, if
Yeah.
it resists me, it's probably
roll me
the
a
best
perception check with Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
Perception check.
No sugar. Thank you.
With disadvantage.
Okay. Disadvantage. 11.
You
Oh,
were
man.
given
Oh, wait,
inspiration if you
I was
wanted
gonna
to
say
use
I'm
it
gonna
then.
add my
Llewellyn?
inspiration to that. It's a what is it? A D.
Okay. You can D12, I think, for Bard, for Chad
Yeah.
anyway. Let me check. Yeah, he's got a whopping D12. Saying
It's
that is
19.
19. Okay, nice. You definitely find a hook,
Yeah.
and as you pull it, you've already seen it, haven't you? You find the hook, and as you pull it, you begin unraveling a rope attached to it as well, and you realize it is actually a grappling hook. Instead, there is no sign of Llewellyn in here.
Yeah, but
And
I
you've
said if
ridden around
it's
enough,
weighty.
Yeah.
Grappling hook isn't heavy.
No, this is why you're still rooting around. But it's at that moment when you feel like you too are being grappled. Something like a hook, but it's not a physical one. Feels like something pulling on your very presence of being. And
I'm gonna do the.
there's a moment of like,
I'm gonna do the scene from the very enormous turnip and be like, guys, I need you to help me pull. And just
Yeah.
get everyone to sort of conga line, and we're all just gonna.
Why
So
do
I don't get pulled
Okay.
in.
I can see Andy being in the middle of that, and their feet are just
Yeah.
off the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask the guys to like anchor me if I can feel something pulling me in, just while I rootle around
Mhm.
to try and find
You
the
definitely
villain.
do. It almost feels like there's this spiritual grappling hook wrapped around your body, and you feel a tug at your waist, but also at your mind, and you feel lightheaded for a second, and it's almost enough that you kind of lose consciousness and let yourself be ragdolled inside. But as everyone else grabs onto you and pulls you away, you kind of snap out of it, and you instead fall backwards, you still have a grappling hook in hand. It's all tied up and wrapped around with rope, but there is nothing more pulling you. Whatever that was, it felt like a hungry sensation gripping you
Okay.
and trying to pull you in.
I'm gonna use the grappling hook like a fishing line. And I'm gonna fling it back down. I am fishing for Llewellyn.
Okay.
Does Llewellyn
You were
see the
quite-
grappling hook?
He does not, I'm afraid.
He's frozen.
There-
Yeah, Carrier sort of looks at this for a
Alright.
while and just like, I'm gonna regret this probably, but move out the way. I'm going in.
Let's tie the grappling hook to you then. We're gonna
Yep.
hold on to the end of it.
Yeah,
Nice.
Carrius is going in.
Okay. What, with the grappling hook around your waist? So you're
yeah.
like,
We're
you've got a
holding on to
lifeline.
that.
Okay. All right. Guess it'll be interesting. Okay, Karis, I'm gonna drag your token on. Oh boy. And let's see where you are.
This is exactly how I like my episodes.
Carius, you are diving into a realm of space. You can feel like either you're shrinking or the world around you is expanding. You can't pinpoint which it is, but either way, when the dizzying spin finally ends, you find yourself standing on what looks like a parchment of a map. There's a gigantic shovel towering over you. There's a light emanating like a glow from a lantern with a locket kind of over the top of it. And I'll let you roll a perception check, first of all. The first thing you can do.
Right, come on, dice. Don't fail me.
Okay. 11.
Another Llewellyn.
So disappointing.
Interesting. Okay. So you look around the space, you don't see any sign of Llewellyn. And I mean any sign. There were a half-elf wizard here, not left a single trace of him. Yeah. You're still wrapped around by a rope. It's kind of strange. The rope is small around your waist, but as it goes up, it kind of enlarges to the size that it would have been when it dropped in.
Yep.
And it kind of disappears into darkness as well.
Okay, not being able to spot Llewellyn, can I spot the Star Sapphire, which we also assume is in here?
Okay. You can either choose to investigate and look around, or roll a perception check. Once again.
I'm gonna go investigation because I'm better at.
All Llewellyns.
Oh man. Okay. It is not enough to identify through all of this junk. There are so many bits and pieces here. There is something of note that probably distracts you though, and that is there is a bag that looks like it's been opened, and there is something on its side. You can see a mess of hair kind of blocking the face, but it seems like that's the nearest thing. And it looks like someone's recently like opened it and dropped it to the ground. But as you go over towards it, unfortunately, you rolled a not very good stealth. It rolled a pretty good stealth check. There is an image that appears almost in front of you as you're walking towards it, and it is of a strange, hairless, blue-skinned individual wearing attire that's kind of ringed and curvy in places. Doesn't look like a normal fabric. It certainly doesn't look like it's anything from the material plane. It's almost kind of metallic in nature, but it seems to flow like water at the same time. And as he kind of looks over towards you, he begins spilling the same things he said to Llewellyn last session, which is, advice. You have mere moments before the creature devours you. In order to stop this, you must open that bag, stare into the eyes. This is the only chance you have of survival.
Arius looks at him and goes, I appreciate the advice, but I've got a rope leading out, so going that way. And then going to start climbing the rope.
As you do, you suddenly feel the presence of something nearby, and it kind of almost melds out of the map itself and appears a gigantic creature with pincers and a maw with too many teeth to count. A singular baleful eye opens and focuses on you, and as it reaches up towards you, I need everyone outside to give me a strength check who's pulling on the rope, because you suddenly feel an incredible force yank at the rope, and you're all on the outside trying to hold on to it.
Oh,
Is
we've
that
got the fight.
strength athletics, or is it just straight strength?
Yeah, it's going to be athletics, yeah. And meanwhile, Carius, you can roll one separately as well. Oh my god.
I don't know who rolled for me, because I didn't roll yet. Who
God.
rolled as me?
That was me, I think.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
And what did you say I needed to roll?
You can roll an athletics or acrobatics.
I think it's just Andy's feet
Both
aren't even
of-
on the floor. She's just holding on.
Yeah, she's just literally holding on to whoever's in front of her and then whoever's behind her holding that side.
I am an
Uh,
anchor. I need to eat more bread.
She's tiny
Indeed.
compared to the rest of them.
By the way, that's actually a -2, so technically I got a natural 18.
Yeah, someone managed to
Okay.
roll with my stats.
Gotcha. I don't know how. Yeah, you probably just had his token selected, that's all. Okay, you're going to use athletics as well, Karis. All right. Meanwhile, the creatures go. And as you're rising up, you see the creature's maw was opening to swallow you, but you kind of start climbing. Instead, it reaches out with a giant pincer and tries to snap shut around your midsection. 24. Jesus. That is some strength behind that thing. Okay, so let's see here. Anyone beat that?
Technically, the nat 20, but that would be an 18 overall, but it's still a nat 20. I know it's a skill check, so nat
It is a
20 is an
skill
always success, so...
It is not in this case. Ooh.
Does our
I do have
combined
something I might-
strength mean nothing?
Combined, I was looking for an average, so that kind of comes down even lower than the 24. But who else is pulling? We have anyone else up there? It's Chad near is.
Yeah, Chad and Skelly Chad are up here.
Yeah. That's true.
And where's
Okay, I can tell you now, Skelly Chad has no strength.
Uriun's a dragon.
Uriun
He can just
never
pull
came
me
in.
into the room.
Never came in.
Why
Yuri
the
is
hell
not with
not?
us.
Who, Paul?
Really coming in.
I
I
didn't.
never pulled this.
Damn, Chad pulled his weight suddenly.
Opal,
Okay.
perhaps?
Chad loves the fact.
Opal is there as well. There's only so
I'm
many people who can
sorry,
go on the rope.
We don't have the Afriti leader because I knocked him out.
Yeah, you punched his lights out. Okay. I'm afraid, overall, this thing has got greater strength than the average of you guys.
Do I
And
get
so
any
what
other
happened-
chance to react?
You have a reaction, yes. But then again, this thing was completely stealth. What do you want to try and do?
Okay, so I was going to try to use Scatter to teleport myself up and it away from me.
That's not a reaction, though, is it?
No. The only reaction thing I could do, I suppose... but it hasn't damaged me.
Let it happen. Let it happen.
Unless... Because it's sort of a... Because it's technically a grapple, that counts as an attack, right?
It's a special attack. Why? What have you got?
Well, I was thinking Wrath of the Storm, so I'll just try to electrocute it off.
You can certainly try. He doesn't look like he's very injured, but if you want to Wrath of the Storm him, by all
the,
means.
the only other thing is if it provoked an attack opportunity, which I know it didn't, then I can technically use any spell as a attack opportunity. But I think Wrath of the Storm is the only one that would truly be. Do I have anything else? Heart of the Storm. No, it's not that one. I swear I've got one that knocks people back. Which one is it? Nope.
Okay. I want you to roll initiative, Carius.
Yeah. Initiative.
Yep.
I'm not on the turn order to be able to roll it, but
Oh
there you
no.
go. Calm dice. Not terrible.
Okay. Alright. So, effectively what just happened, it stealthed up to you whilst you were looking around and investigating. And don't ask me how this thing is stealth, but it seems as though it is almost one with this plane. And as it pulled forth, and you were just about to leave, it used its surprise round to effectively grapple you. And let's see here. What else it can do? Actually, this is what happened. Technically, you started to leave, and I was going to have a surprise round, but because you left, it instead, you're the one who basically initiated leaving. It only had time to basically use its held action, effectively.
Yeah.
So, you'll go, effectively.
Okay, in which case, as big as this thing is and as terrifying as it is, I'm hoping that this will work. It's grappled me and probably restrained me, but I think I can still do this. So I am going to attempt to use scatter, targeting myself and it, with the intent of sending myself 120 feet up and hopefully out of the entrance, and itself 120 feet the other way. So it needs to make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save, alright.
Easily made the save, but I still got 120 feet.
You do. It feels as though you literally are pushing against wind itself. This creature it's not physical, whatever it is. It's clearly some kind of monster, but in this space, as you try to like push against it, it just sort of like wafts away through it's almost like you see its flesh kind of ripple, like it's simply an illusion. Okay. Karis, you are shot straight up 120 feet towards what you would hopefully assume is the entrance to the bag. But as I mentioned, as you kind of like fell through here, it was like space itself was warping.
Okay.
So you do reach what you feel is like the top of the rope, and you've still got movement as well, haven't you?
Yeah, and as my bonus action, gusts of elemental air briefly surround me, allowing me to go an extra 10 feet. And then I'm going to use my glaive, and I'm going another 50 feet.
Another. All right, yeah, that'll do it. Okay, geez. Yeah, you went quite out, but then hopping on your glaive and then whooshing out to the very top, you start to see light appear as everyone sees the bag kind of like expanding like a hyper-extending jaw, and it just spits out Carius.
Karish just sort of looks at them and goes, "Do not go in there."
Did you find Lavellin?
No. I found a giant beast that tried to eat me.
Was that Llewellyn?
And another weird blue thing that tried to get me to turn myself to stone.
How many hands did it have?
I wasn't really looking.
He thinks it's Lavellin, the monster. I mean, he can polymorph.
I also couldn't see the star sapphire, but I didn't have a lot of time.
4 actually, if you wanna.
Yeah. Also, I think I had 4 hands.
Not the Astral Dreadnought. The other figure.
The other figure had 4 hands. No idea about the Astral Dreadnought.
Interesting.
Didn't look well. Don't know what it is. Big, ugly, one-eyed thing. Horrible to look at.
It's a detail I left out, but it's probably because in the moment you was rush of adrenaline. But now that you think about it, it's funny that Kashan has asked that question, and you do recall that the figure, although they kind of remained perfectly still, it is possible that they did have 4 hands. It's at the back of your mind, though.
Yeah.
I did warn you guys. So,
Well-
no sign of Llewellyn?
Nope. And then Carius is going to do his best to use shape water to create as best a vision of the Astral Dreadnought as he can. Anyone know what this is?
Ah!
It's bloody ugly. It's what it is.
That is the stuff of nightmares.
Yep. And the thing is, with shape water, I can even do like different colors and stuff. So technically, it would look pretty accurate.
Have I ever seen a picture of something like this before?
Good lord. Probably not a picture, no. But if you want to roll an Arcana check, maybe you may have read about something like this.
Well, that's what I mean, like a picture in like a book or something. Arcana.
There are no pictures of these things.
9.
Wow, for once I think Irina is clueless as to what the hell that thing is.
Blinking
Giant
ugly is what it
lobster.
is. Alright, the question is, what do? We can't leave Lavellin in there. If he's in there still.
Suppose we just take the bag with us for now?
And leave him in there with that monster?
Do you want to go in and get it?
Well,
I think he
I
kind
don't.
of deserves some time out.
I mean, I could try. I mean, Carius, how did you get out?
I ran and teleported and glaved.
Well, I can teleport, and I can teleport with an extra person.
Yeah, but
But did you see Llewellyn while you were in there?
I saw no sign of him. I saw a bag in there which the blue guy tried to get me to look into, but it seemed to be that looked like it'd been interacted with recently. So if I was gonna guess, I'm guessing Llewellyn decided to do what the guy said, and then something happened.
How big was this thing? Do you reckon it could take a punch?
Honestly, considering how big these things actually are,
Gargantuan, probably.
yeah, you may be you might just be the size of its eye, maybe like the pupil.
Okay, maybe not. I go and hide behind Andy.
Why hide behind me and the shot is here?
I've crouched.
It honestly made the dragons we've seen look small.
What? Llewellyn
idea.
went in there with it.
Have an
He's
idea.
dead. Sorry, go.
Thinking.
Can I continue to panic while you're thinking?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Ah!
What if we took it to someone who knows how to deal with magical items?
Chatney, don't you know how to deal with magical items?
Hell no. What do you take me for?
I thought you were some legendary adventurer.
Oh yeah, I used to look after the stuff. Doesn't always mean I knew what it does. I mean, I had Antwist kind of identify stuff for me.
Opal, is there anything you can do? Like, can you scry where Lavella might be or something like that? I'm not sure exactly how that works in this case.
Opal says, well, I did try to warn Llewellyn about his potential future, but he did not heed the waters. Um, I could
That's
try
normally
and
like him.
I could try and contact him. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a
We
look.
could always ask Marzook.
I mean, at this point, that's not such a bad idea.
Scrying.
Marzuk?
He's the guy who
No,
owns
she
sort of
does
the
not have a
backwoods
way.
market store.
No, because he'll end up bringing out the dreadnought instead of Llewellyn.
But it's a reverse bag of
doesn't have-
holding, right? He's the perfect person to look at it.
I mean, it still had stuff in it, so it's like a bag of holding, but with extras. Like, maybe a defense mechanism, maybe if you know the right word, you can deactivate the negative effects, maybe, or something.
It's
Sesame?
an encrypted bag of holding.
Yeah,
Opal
it's like
doesn't have a spell that can reach him. That's why you came here in the first place with Opal,
Yeah.
was because you needed to be on
Yeah.
the same plane of existence.
Auntie, you used to live in a city, didn't you?
No.
Not in this one.
Heck.
I lived in the dry oasis, not the city.
Heck.
Why?
I was thinking, well, you were a thief of sorts?
I am still a thief of sorts.
Point taken. Anyway, back when I was in Thornbridge, we had a fence that we used to take our items to, and they'd look them over, and being Thornbridge, we needed to make sure what we were dealing with wasn't super dangerous, but also super wealthy.
What things were you stealing? I stole food and money.
And money.
Money! Thornbridge is an interesting place.
They've got some interesting things there.
It's a place filled with artifacts and many priceless possessions.
I never stole anything that was not, going to be severely missed. Just, stuff to get by.
I need to teach you things.
I thought you were giving it up.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
So,
It's fine, I can influence you.
well, we can't make peace with it, so I think that might be off the table. But there must be a place. In fact, do you think there's a... The reason why I say Thieves Guild is purely for the fact of they seem to come across the most artifacts, per se.
I'm just going to point out that the people we took this bag from were somewhat of a thieves guild.
Perhaps we shouldn't, then.
I've just thought of someone that might be worth speaking to.
Who's that?
Well, it's a monster in the bag, right? Maybe we go speak to the guy who's like the expert on monsters. He might have at least heard of them.
Who's
Good
that?
idea. The guy at Chad's casino.
Ah.
No, it wasn't the guy
no,
at Chad's
he's the
casino.
shop
I was
owner,
thinking
wasn't
the
he?
one. Yeah, can't think of his
Cal
name.
Hatter,
Yeah, Cal Hatter.
and that's a she, but yes,
She.
she's a very gruff she, but she's she's Monster
We're gonna have to
Hunter
start going
extraordinaire,
down
but
sexist.
It's gender.
Don't make me. I'll change my catchphrase.
No.
We could.
so
The other option, and as much as this seems like one that's going to be tricky to do, is we try to find the syndicate again.
I think that's a bit risky.
Let's say the guy.
True,
from,
but if we-
sorry, the girl from the shop.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Let's keep it
Yeah.
small. Make our way up. I mean, after all, we might end up getting some contacts with people who might be more in the know with an item like this.
I may stop in and talk
Yeah.
to
One idea.
Marzook just to be ask how much he knows about these bags. Seems like the
Yeah.
sort of person who might have something on it. So you find out about the monster. I'll go see if he knows anything about the bag. But no one touched the goddamn thing.
That.
I
Yeah.
do have one idea, but you're not gonna like it.
And what's that?
We don't want to hear it then.
No, you're not plucking the blue string.
Oh,
Unless
can
you
go
want to
and
go
pluck
in
yourself.
there and then do it. Happy to
Hell
tie
no,
the
I'm not
rope
going in
around
there.
you.
Screw
Right.
that.
In which case,
No,
blue string,
no,
bad
no.
idea.
Thank you. The other option is I could try to summon the villain with the gate spell, but
do that.
as we already know, yeah.
What does the
When did
gate
you
spell
get
do?
that, though?
That's
No,
the spell
summon the
that
villain
brought
to
us
us.
here.
Sorry, a lot of people talking at once. So,
Yep.
gone-
But like I've already said, we used it to get here in the first place, so kind of have to wait a whole day,
Which we'll need to get out, and we do have other things. So
which we need to use to get out. So then it'll be 2 days.
I'm sure you can wait 2 days.
Do you think we could push to do the arena? He can wait 3 days. It's fine.
I want to go and
Well-
speak to someone around. There's got to be someone in this place who knows something about stuff.
Why don't I ask the Afriti?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's got to be someone who knows
We
something.
are.
I'll go and find the boss because I think I'm on good terms with him.
He's lounging back on the bed at the moment, just like. Ugh.
I'll just kind of knock on the door or on the wall.
What?
Hello,
What do you
it's
want?
me again.
No, come back tomorrow.
No, wait. Before you go to sleep, I
Mhm.
have a couple of questions for you. By any chance, did you know exactly what those thieves were hoarding at all?
You don't even know they were thieves.
Well, do you know what artifacts they were holding on them in general?
They simply advertised the scrolls.
Not the bag?
The bag. I remember seeing them pull something from the bag.
We've. Oh, they pulled. What did they pull from the bag?
That's the scrolls.
Oh, they pulled the scrolls from the bag. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose you know anybody who is well at that. Irina, can you come in here? I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna come in. Like obviously, if it's easier, I might need you to translate, but I'm gonna. So.
Ask. She said it, not me.
I would like permission to look through that room where they kept this bag. It seems as though our friend has been swallowed by it. And there is a big, scary, dangerous monster in the bag. We would like to retrieve our friend without retrieving said monster as well. If you will let me look through their documents in their room, I may be able to find some information. But I would not want to do that without your permission.
It's not their room, that is ours, but it is simply where we did trade. You can have a look.
Thank you. I'm gonna literally run to the room and look around to see if there's any like obviously back in Wheat, there were little bits like notes on Andy's violin and things like that that they'd written down. So I'm looking for anything.
They had, yeah.
I'm looking for anything to do with that bag or this thing in the bag or the Star Sapphire. I'm being very thorough.
Mhm.
Fine tooth comb.
Okay. Okay, so just preface firstly, this isn't their vault that they were keeping stuff in, and if they did have the bag of holding with them, it's likely they just pulled out what they needed for this and nothing else.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have dropped something. I'm just being careful.
Potentially. Okay, roll an investigation check. Nothing that immediately pinpoints information, but the scrolls that they did pull out, you also remember Blot made off with them. Like he literally picked up a handful of them and sprinted away, and then he snapped the Staff of Power. The only thing left is the small ashes of that Staff of Power, which is something if you know how to use it. But other than that, it doesn't look like they left like a secret note that says how to control the Astral Dreadnought or anything. I'm afraid.
Alright, I'll come back and just be like, okay, that was a dud. Do you have anyone here who is experienced in the use of magic items? Can analyze magic items to check their genuineness. I don't think that's a word.
Not within
Genuine.
the
Why are you
monastery,
looking at me and saying
but
that? I don't know.
you are in the city of Bra. There are potentially more powerful and more knowledgeable Afriti in terms of the arcane, but we
Yeah.
here simply seek to hone our bodies and minds.
Do you have anybody in mind? Somebody close?
What is it you're exactly trying to seek information about?
Trying to find out how to unnorm our friend.
It's a reverse bag of holding, from the looks of it. Seems
He's
to have
thinking for a
swallowed our
second.
food.
Suppose you could head on into the city of Brass, but I do not know anyone in particular, not off the top of my head. We are more of a isolated clan. We live simple lives here in the monastery, concentrating on our own teachings and our own discipline. We search information within, not outside. So no, he doesn't know anyone off the top of his head, but you could head into the city of Brass proper and try to locate someone.
Maybe that might be a bad idea.
Do you?
The heat,
Mortals
yeah, not
can-
all of us can survive.
He says, "Are you kidding? This is like winter right now."
For you.
Honestly, I'm okay with the temperature. It's pretty cool.
The city of Brass is the only hospitable place within the plane of fire. You won't find anywhere more comfortable.
Oh no, it's suitable for you guys, sure, but obviously we are very delicate humans. Well, half
The fact you haven't internally combusted right now is proof that this is the
To be fair, I did that
is
earlier,
comfortable.
but sure.
Do not step outside the city, though. If you do that, your skin will melt.
Got any bright ideas?
Me?
I'll say Opal has an idea as well. Oh, she's in the other room at the moment. I'm guessing when you return, she'll share it.
Yeah,
If you may, leave me to my rest.
of course. Once again, I'm very sorry.
Turns over. Grumbles.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Heading back. So Opal says, so in the midst of that battle, Blot managed to get away. And he's definitely not on that plane anymore if he's used a Staff of Power. But as for Kashiko, she didn't seem to use a device or magic item to escape. She simply just vanished once we dropped my wall of water. It's possible she's still here.
Interesting.
She might be nearby with if she'd use something like Dimension Door, perhaps. Or maybe she just turned invisible.
Does anybody have the means of locating her?
Well,
Looks
that's
to
why you
April.
brought me. That's literally why you brought me, was to pinpoint people within this plane. So, I guess if you want me to, I can begin a scrying spell.
Yes, please.
Alright. She's going to consume a spell slot. This is my last fifth. I cannot do this anymore today. And Yoshiko is going to roll. And
I mean,
she knows.
technically the bag of holding is a possession of theirs, right? So if you
Yeah, it is actually. So that's -4. Minus. -4 by the looks.
I'll create an image of her out of water if that counts. Actually, I'll freeze it solid so it's a statue of them.
Don't they still have the scale?
And we've got
Yeah.
the scale, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a -10.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. This is a 10-minute ritual. So like.
I think so.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. During that 10 minutes, we're gonna go over to Llewellyn. Yes.
What?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna pre-load this scene. In fact, actually, it's a good time to actually go for a little break while I load this scene.
Sure.
So
Nice.
this is gonna take 10 minutes. We'll be right back in 10 minutes ourselves whilst Opal is casting scrying. Be right back. See you. And we are back. Okay. Llewellyn.
Hello.
Oh boy. What a terrible fate you seem to find yourself in. So, floating around in the endless nothingness, your stone cold body floats. Doesn't feel like you can sense the outside world. Feels like you're trapped within your own mind.
Wait, I'm conscious?
Not of your body,
That sucks.
but of your consciousness. Potentially of your soul that has yet to leave this body.
That's-
You're simply floating around in an empty space. Doesn't have light, doesn't have gravity. It feels like you're just a consciousness that exists.
This is
and
okay.
nothing else.
This is okay because I have like a million voices in my head. I'll never be alone.
Normally, yes, but it seems as though even those voices have been severed. This is simply just you,
What?
your consciousness.
Oh no.
But what is Llewellyn thinking right now?
I don't know.
I want a piece of that.
Sure,
What would be going through their head?
I'm sure the rest of them will be here sometime soon. Any minute now. Any minute now. Sometime soon. Like now.
Couple of hours pass of you thinking about this. Like now, nah. About an hour or two passes and still no luck.
Just me.
But then again, you don't really have a sense of time unless you're counting in your head. But you spend
Space.
most of that time going, nah.
I'm in
After-
space.
After a while, it's just like, just me. Just me. All alone. Here alone. No.
And as you say that, suddenly you hear like a crack. Sounds like something chipped, like stone. And you
Whoa.
can feel again, suddenly. Like you feel constrained, you feel cold, stone cold. And a moment later, you swear you see light beam into your eye. And as you look around with your one good eye, you're looking around, twitching, and you can see like almost like an encasing around you is slowly cracking and falling away.
What?
Pull you to the map.
Ooh.
Guys?
Around you, you see the glow of magical runes. In front of you, there is a figure stepping forward, and he's coming through what looks to be a passageway.
Is this a wall in front of me, or do I actually see him?
There is a wall, yes. But, hold on. There we go. As he steps through, you see like a slight shimmer to the door. And he steps around and views you through this open kind of like window here.
Your pointer was exactly on the icon, and for a second, I thought he was called Chris.
Yep, name is Chris. No, he actually introduces himself though, because you can finally hear as the encasing around your ears falls away. And he says, "Introduction. My name is Zaban. You are Llewellyn Ironwood, I believe."
I am. Where am I? How do you know that? What is this place? And what's that giant orb as I go to reach out?
You go to reach out and you can feel a slight tingling on your hands. There is definitely magic coming from it. I'm
Oh.
not sure what, but you look down at your potential belongings and they are not with you. The only thing you have on is the robe of the Archmage, by the looks.
What about my book or the like
Not
stuff?
on you.
Am I?
You are in Syndicate Apogee's domain.
So
You
this
are
is
Hmm.
your hideout.
one of.
One of?
We have many.
This is not. Is this not your main? It looks so fancy. Is this the future? Am I dead?
It is a secure and safe place. Reassurance. You're under our protection.
Well, thank you.
It seems as though assumption. You followed my instructions then, when you were swallowed by the bag of devouring.
Kind of. I did try to use it on whatever that beast was first.
Explanation. That was an Estral Dreadnought.
Everything
Mhm.
scary has a scary name.
Mm-hmm. We called him Samuel.
Love it. So how do you know me?
We did some reading. The book that you have. Interesting. Identification was difficult, but
Thi-
it did tell us your name.
Huh.
Now, it seems as though you are either part of a deal gone bad, or you are a potential threat to our organization.
No, no. We're not a threat.
Roll a
See,
wisdom saving throw. Liver.
God. Wisdom should be good. Wisdom should be very good. Wisdom very bad.
Very bad. Okay. You are compelled to tell the truth.
See, I was going to tell the truth anyway.
Okay. I think that's actually a charisma, isn't it?
You're...
Charisma?
I don't know. See,
Yeah, it's a charisma. My bad. What's your charisma?
it wouldn't be any better, I don't think.
Okay, then yeah, you still failed.
See,
Okay.
2 of your members keep stealing objects that are ours. So we have to keep stealing them back. By the way, Blot and Kashiko, thieves that can be thieved from, and not very good thieves.
Disappointment.
They are.
are indeed a more improvised group. They are still climbing the ranks of our organization. You will have to forgive their sloppiness.
Yeah. See, we just came for our items. Say we, currently it's just me. But and the only way to get our items was to take your bag of holding from them, but they initiated a fight and then ditched everything. If they'd given us our items back, we would have just left.
Seems to be listening intently. He says,
We have no issue with your organization. We don't wish to disassemble or whatever it is. We just wanted our items to stay in our possession.
negotiation. If you wish to have your items returned, then perhaps we can organize a trade.
Sounds preferable.
Your allies are still on the elemental plane of fire, correct?
They are. Are you even curious as to what we want back?
I assume it is the Star Sapphire.
Wow, you guys really good with that research. Yes. Yes.
That'll be because I kind of told him. Oh, hey, by the way.
Hey. That was an interesting little encounter. Ah.
Yeah, it was. I gotta say, you nearly had me. Oh, you're this close, but not quite. But you do owe me a new Star for Power, so that's a thing.
Yeah, but you also owe us those monk scrolls.
The scrolls.
Yes.
Was that what you was after? Oh yeah, yeah.
We were
Huh.
we're after our scrolls and our Star of Sapphire.
Okay, first of all, it's not your Star Sapphire exactly, is it? But
No, it technically was Chad's, and currently Chad is with us. So yes.
correction. The Star Sapphire does not belong to any mortal kind.
Yeah, true. But in terms of possession outside of this multi-dimensional stealing you do, it was currently owned by a Chad Nia.
This is the nature of things, isn't it? They swap hands. Things are exchanged. Things are traded.
But
Things are lost and found.
he didn't lose it nor trade it. It was stolen.
Who's to say that Chadnir did not steal it within the first place?
That I don't know. I don't know the information that goes back that far. But in terms of the dealings between you guys and us guys and you guys and Chad, it was in his possession and it got stolen.
Information. The Star Sapphire was originally forged, or rather tempered, within the elemental plane of Earth. Its true owners are within that realm.
True.
And I imagine there is quite a buyer. So, a trade then. Yes?
This can be done. What is it that you would want?
Information.
That can also be done. If I possess the information you're after?
Where did you find this book? He pulls out, and with one of his hands, he seems to be holding his hand like gestured together like steeple, and another third hand reaches around and pulls out your book.
Before it was given to me for a lot of hard work and earning. It was owned by a Baba Yaga, Mother of Bones.
Correction. It was owned by a cleric by the name of Senrith.
That too. But again, as you say, as things change hands, that book changed hands from Senrith to Baba Yaga, the Mother of Bones.
Blot speaks up and goes, "What the? That guy? We haven't seen him in ages. Where is he anyway?" Sarvan looks at you and says, "Please answer Blot's question."
The last time I saw him was probably... Was it about 6 months ago for me? But in actual time, probably about 10 years and 6 months ago. Inside Baba Yaga's hut. He was kicking ass when it decided to implode on itself.
Did he try to attempt to take this book back?
No. What? Why would he want it back?
It used to belong to him.
True. But
You are suddenly compelled within your mind to tell the truth of what he actually tried to do.
he didn't try to take it back in this
He did
version.
try to take it.
Not in this version. He didn't. He met up with us as we were going to get attacked by the hags. A wall of fired them, and he kicked their asses and helped us escape.
Yeah, that's true. Wait.
He never
Yeah, it was
found.
the first time when he actually tried to
Yeah.
take the book and destroy it. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
All right. So he says, Plot says, "It don't look anything like what he used to own anyway. How do you know it's his?" And Sarban just says, "I know." All right, well,
I mean, it was.
it seems it has undergone some transformations.
Been improved. Now it has my eye and my hand, and is attuned to me.
Disturbing.
I've literally put blood, sweat, and tears into that book.
Says, warning. This book seems to be taking you down a path. One that is in stark contrast to the one that Sinrith had.
And what path was that?
Well, Sinrith was seeking to restore balance, but he took a chaotic turn at one point. It seems as though the book... No, the book did not abandon him. He abandoned the book, it seems. It seems it's almost like he's telepathically getting information from something. He might even be talking to your book right now, Llewellyn, because he seems to be like his eyes gesture towards it every now and again.
Can I insight on that to see
Yeah,
if I
you
know?
can. Yeah.
I'll roll that. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks as though the book is actually talking to him and feeding him this information.
How are
And
you able?
just as he was about to say, you know, he left, the book abandoned him, he suddenly corrected, and then seems as though he discarded this. He is no longer in need of it.
So, by that, technically it is mine?
It would seem so.
How are you doing that, by the way?
That is of no concern at this time.
Okay.
Just know that my race possesses a particular ability to speak with one's minds. Now,
Wait, do I see his lips actually moving, or is he doing it with me?
he is speaking. Yeah, he is speaking. Anyway, why don't we take his robes and like take his stuff? He had a load of like magical items in there and things.
You take my robes, I will take your head. These robes are not meant for you. They are promised to someone else.
I'd like to see you try, buddy. Come on, come right at me. I'm right here.
I look at the Kazaban.
Zarban seems to do nothing to stop this. He simply watches. Right here. Come on, look, I'll even turn my back.
I'm gonna polymorph him into good old classic worm.
You haven't got your arcane focus on you, have you? The book.
No, my
What's the
arcane
focus?
my arcane focus, the book we established, only needs to be within 100 feet of me.
All right. I didn't expect this one, but sure. 17? No, no,
That's a
that's
fail.
okay. All right, damn. Plot gets turned into a what? It looks like you're not completely powerless in here. But yeah, Blot is turned into a little wriggling worm on the floor. And
I
Zarban sees the book open up, the hand appear, and then gesture towards Blot and do it.
he is so much better when he can't talk.
Agreement. Yes. He closes the book suddenly and says, "You wish for the Star Sapphire. We
And,
wish to find Senrith again."
and the scrolls. It's very important to my friend that he gets his scrolls back.
Zarban kind of nods. It is also important that we do not have powerful adventurers meddling with our business.
Well, we can promise you so long as your is it employees? What is this? So long as they don't steal our items again, we will have no need to search them out.
Hmm.
So in all your timey-wimey multi-dimensional stealing, if you could like keep away from the line that leads to us, then our paths shouldn't cross again.
They shall, because
I'm sorry,
those
what?
scrolls. Explanation. Those scrolls are leading you on a path, or at least one of them. A path that we wish to investigate further. But we cannot do this without all the scrolls being in one place. There are certain passages that need to be understood as a whole.
Well, how about this? You seem to have a lot of power here. And do you have ink
He nods.
and parchment?
He nods.
Because I seem to be stuck here for, well, I don't know, until you let me go. What if I copy the scrolls? And then at least we both have them then.
What are the ones that your companion owns? He will copy those and deliver them to us.
I personally would like to say yes, but that is not a negotiation I can make without his consent. If you wish to speak to him about it, and as part of the negotiation we do that, then sure.
Hmm.
Sorry, I can't promise things that are not mine.
Understood. In which case, potentially
But
a
I-
guarantee.
I can't see him saying no if he gets his scrolls back in the end. What is it you're looking for?
He pauses for the longest time. And you can roll another insight check, Llewellyn.
Sure. Attributes, insight. I have good insight and I barely ever use it.
15. You can't get a good read on this guy, whether he's not wanting to tell you or whether it's because he can't really find the answer for that. Potentially, not even he knows what he's looking for, which is a little bit spooky to begin, like spooky to start thinking about. You have all this power and all this organization, and they don't even know what they're looking for, but they know they're looking for something. Maybe that's as much as you can tell with a 15. But Zarban doesn't seem to answer it.
Okay. So would I be okay to copy those scrolls then, and you can keep the copies?
If you copy these, then I have no bargaining power for the others.
Well, you still
We-
have the Star Sapphire, and
The
trust me,
Star Sapphire is yours.
is it
You have already given me the information for that.
okay?
The scrolls, on the other hand,
Well, how about to save time, I copy them and I hand them both back to you, and then once the deal is made, you then can give them over,
we shall make copies ourselves.
or you
But-
do that. That's fine.
This is a negotiation. You shall copy the scrolls that your companion already has. She'll deliver them to a meeting place with one of our associates, and they will trade you back the other scrolls.
Hmm. Can
That
it be?
way, the information is equally shared.
Can it be Kashiko?
It can.
Kashiko was all right. Not Blot though. I don't like Blot, as you can tell.
You see him just wriggling around.
We're we're co- we're likely to fight again if you send Blot.
Fights are unnecessary.
Exactly. That's why I would prefer he stayed away.
And he says, and if you find out more information, the whereabouts of Senrith is of great importance to us. If you find him, we would also like you to reach out to us.
Okay. As I said, his last known location was inside Baba Yaga's hut, which I will also say was inside the capital city. You know, the whole shattered, collapsed, and all that. Yeah.
Understood. Destination is tumultuous, uncertain.
Speaking of that,
Hmm.
by chance, do you know where I may find Terrig? If by chance you've heard of a Terrig? I have somewhat of a direction, but also somewhat of a time. It's just maybe you and your all teleporting powers know the exact place where I need to be?
Uncertain. Talterig is a tower that shifts between time and space.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Right now, he is fluctuating. That is all I can say or sense. Impossible to locate.
So,
Unless you have this. And he does pull out the compass.
wait, my compass or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at the moment, it doesn't seem to be spinning anywhere. It doesn't seem to be
Still, it's just
pointing in a direction, which is odd, because it normally does. But right here, in this place, it doesn't seem to be pointing anywhere. He says, hey, this is yours. An interesting artifact, but we have no need to talk with Terrig in this time. For now, find Senrith and propose that negotiation to your friend.
okay. Do you have a buyer for that unicorn, by the way?
You mean the Snuggle Beast?
Yeah.
We do not currently.
It would go lovely with my collection. I say my collection. It's a very beginner's collection. I have the Warpletinger.
How much gold are you wishing to spend? Or perhaps you have an item to trade. I'm not usually the one to do these negotiations. This is Blot's domain. If you would, please.
I'm just wondering how much it would be.
You wouldn't mind dropping concentration.
Oh, oh yeah. I do so. And I do so
Okay.
by going over and stepping on him.
Okay, at this point you realize there is a invisible wall you try to get through. You end up getting stuck against it. That's what Blot was trying to do, was goad you into walking into a wall. There is clearly a magical wall of force. But yeah, he didn't expect you to cast a spell through it, let alone be able to cast a spell without. So he does suddenly turn back. He's like, what? How did he
Okay.
cast that thing? No, but I thought you took away his arcane components.
Okay, if I if I can't do that, what I do is I polymorph myself into something mundane, and then drop concentration, because then the book the book merges into me when I polymorph, and then it's back in my possession.
Hmm. The belongings on you, yes, but not if it's not on your possession.
I thought that was something else we'd spoke about. If the book is within 100 feet when I polymorph myself, it
Oh, I see. Oh,
As
yeah,
if-
because the hand is part of you. I guess so. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, Zarban does seem to like watch this happen. It doesn't seem to even flinch.
I turn into like a
Um,
deer or something.
Blot's like, okay, so first of all, you tried to kill us, and now you wanna do business. What is going on?
We didn't want to kill you.
You tried to kill me twice in fact.
You
I just
stole.
ran every time.
That's the point. You run before talking.
Yeah, well, that's how we live. We run.
We just wanted our items back, and we would have left you alone.
Yeah, well, I was under orders, okay, buddy?
Well, at least you know for in the future if we happen to come across each other again, and hopefully we don't.
Seems like Zarban's butted you up, I guess. Fine. But that snuggle beast is gonna cost you big bucks. How much you got? Wait, we know how much you've got. So they look through your inventory. They do know how much gold you've got. Not much.
I currently have 9 silver and 262 Chad coins.
Yeah, you ain't got enough for the snuggle beast, so come back when you got some gold, huh?
Not now, obviously. you know, we're meeting up with Kashiko at some point.
Okay,
So-
well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll trade you a snuggle beast for
What?
that large moon rock crystal you had in there.
Really? You want the moon rock crystal?
It's worth more than that that there snuggle beast, yeah.
So what is the value of the moon rock then? Because you've just said it's worth more than the snuggle beast. So what else?
It is.
What else are you willing to add to the snuggle beast to make up the price?
No. Snuggle beast for rock. Unicorn for rock. That's it. Your final offer.
Sure,
Stop it. We could just steal this. We could just take it from him.
I wasn't going to do anything with the rock anyway.
Wait, really? Oh, okay.
It,
Well-
it was a souvenir.
You know that is actually also fuel for your airship as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just want to point that out.
I'll think it through before I speak to Kashiko.
All right. Okay.
I forgot about that.
Anyway, yeah, later. Blood just walks out.
So how long am I going to be here for? And if so, can I come out of this room, or are you just going to send me straight back, or
Where do you wish to go?
so many places? I'd like to go back to my friends.
On the elemental plane of fire.
If that's currently where they still are. Also, do you have a failsafe of any means to not get sucked into that bag?
We do. It is
It-
commanded to only obey us.
Can you allow it for me to go in and to get the Star Sapphire?
We shall acquire that for you.
Okay. And
But
when will I?
You are to hand that bag over to Kashiko.
That's fine.
And he
I don't-
begins weaving a spell.
I don't want to touch that creepy ass bag anymore.
I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Another one.
Okay. You have succeeded, but he's going to do it again.
Wait. After he does that, I'm like, what are you trying to do?
It seems like when he said that last line, he was very assertive, and you see that the one pair of his hands is behind his back, but as you try to like look behind him, you can't really get an angle on what they're doing. He says, negotiations must be followed through.
I
Wouldn't
mean,
you agree?
yes, and I'm willing to do that.
You are.
You don't
Roll a
need to
wisdom saving throw again.
cast a spell on me.
I think you've got advantage on this as well because you're half elf.
Oh, I do, and I've got the robes.
Yeah.
21 again.
Oh man. He
Seri-
says,
Seriously, it's fine. You can trust me.
trust is a very fragile thing.
Well, we really want those scrolls and the Star Sapphire, so
And I wish for you to find Senrith as a thank you for potentially saving your life. It is the least you could do. Roll one more wisdom saving throw with
Well,
advantage.
I would like to find Senrith too.
Damn, those those natural rolls are really good.
That would
Hmm.
that would have been a 1 without advantage.
Hmm.
But seriously, he helped us out of a bind. To know that he's alive, I would like to find him too.
Well, it seems our goals do align. We shall be likely meeting again.
Cool.
Probably not within this place. Probably not within this realm. But I'm
Okay.
sure our paths will cross. Lavelle Ironwood.
It was nice meeting you, Kazaban? Zaban?
Sarban. Yeah, it's Sarban, yeah. But it's hard it's a hard pronunciation. He says, keep on that path. I'm sure you will acquire much knowledge.
Good to
When
know.
you do, we will have more to bargain. And with that, you see his front-facing hands do begin casting a spell.
I bow to him as he's doing it. And that counts spell. No, I'm kidding.
His other hands could counterspell you.
No, I don't.
But,
I don't even have the spell slot. I wasted them on polymorph.
Lavellin, you feel yourself being teleported, and that glowing orb seems to glow brighter and brighter.
Wait, he gives me my stuff back, right?
Actually, the only thing you've got on you is your book, but apparently with this trade, he's potentially got something as a, like you said, leverage. But what was he going to say? As you're kind of vanishing, he says, your allies are already getting in contact with Kashiko. The trade will be made then. And with that, you vanish from this place. You're going
Hey.
to go back to the others.
That was cool. I liked that. I really wanted to explore this place, though.
Yeah, and if you did that, they'd have to cast Modify Memory on you. I'm sorry. They'd have to,
They-
neuralize you.
They'd probably fail.
Apparently, he tried to do that 3 times on you, and you're like, nope, nope, nope.
Oh wait, that was modify memory.
No, that wasn't modified. No. You can roll an Arcana check if you want. See what that
Guess
spell
it
actually was.
Sure.
Problem is, I'm going to say with disadvantage because you didn't see the somatic components of it.
I think I know what spell it is. I think
14.
14. Let me check. No, the spell level is higher than that. You have no idea what spell he was casting on you.
in which case it's probably the one I'm thinking of because I think it's a 5th level spell.
Probably like a truth spell or something, or some sort of command.
Maybe. Who knows? All right, everyone. At this point, the ritual is complete, and you see that Opal's eyes are kind of closed, and she seems to be like in a sort of trance of her own. And she pulls back from the vision. He's holding the orb of water in her hands. She says, "Okay, she is here still, in the elemental plane of fire. I know where she is."
Alright. Then let's go pay her a visit.
All right. Okay. So, in short, if you guys are going right now, you guys effectively leave the monastery, and the direction which you leave is this way, as you realize there was actually a back entrance to the monastery, and she seems to be leading you down these tight canyon walls that you can see like veins of lava still flowing within. The heat is almost unbearable, but it's. In fact, I'm trying to remember. Most of you do have resistance to fire, and I think someone did have a resistance spell cast on them. But at this
Yeah.
point, I need probably Andy and Kashan to roll me another Constitution saving throw. Because protection
If
from
it's
energy doesn't,
Yeah, if
doesn't
it's
last
this,
that long.
if it's this bad for them, imagine what it's like for the mermaid.
Yeah, protection from energy is definitely worn off now. So, okay. Yep, it sucks, but I'm afraid, Kashan, you do suffer. Oops, my bad. 1 level of exhaustion. And what did Andy get? Okay, 12. I know you smashed it last time, but the DC is getting slightly higher every time. And this place is a bit of a long travel as well, because you're not just teleporting straight to the doors. You've only suffered 1 level of exhaustion though, so nothing a long
Technically,
rest can't deal with.
I don't have resistance unless I'm literally on fire as well.
Okay, that's true.
You've
I
been
need you
making
to
me
roll one as well. Yes, I forgot why. I thought you had like a ring though.
No, we gave it to Opal.
That's right. Okay, Arena can roll then. 12. Okay, you are
Has
also
it,
under one.
has it been a minute since has it been more than a minute since I went into the bag?
Yeah, it's been 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, because ritual. Yeah.
Chad's also exhausted. All of you exhausted, but it's nothing 1 long rest can't deal with. It is just simply the effects of this plane, and oh man, the stifling heat, hard to breathe, hard to even open your eyes. It feels like the moisture on them is immediately dried out. And as you guys are going through the city of Brass, once again, it's these tall buildings that almost look like they're made of molten metal. It's kind of like solidified. The entrance towards a large, it almost looks like a palace of sorts, but you know, Koshiko probably doesn't own a palace here at the very least, but maybe they can get in and out of places. As you're approaching, you do see 2 large salamander-like creatures guarding the entrance. They are something like this. Hold on. Yeah, that's the one. These are the creatures guarding the exterior. And they cross their spears in front of you and look over towards you, speaking in Ignan at first, and they say, "Halt! Outsiders are not permitted inside here. Who are you?"
I'm Carius Damsir. We're looking for a known thief. Believe they might be around here.
Thief? No thief will ever get past our guard.
I
This
mean,
is the estate of Coldblade, Inferno Eyes.
she's an interdimensional thief, so they kind of specialize in getting into areas like this, sealed vaults, things like that.
You
They're
questioning our
merfolk, if that-
ability?
No, I'm questioning the fact that you're not willing to take a potential threat to your security seriously.
I roll a persuasion check. I guess you're speaking in primordial as well.
Yep.
Okay. 15, not bad. I see.
I mean,
In
if you want to go look for them, we don't have to go in. But they are known to turn invisible, teleport, use water magic. I think they're a merfolk, if that helps. No, it's a weird place to find them, but
And Opal speaks up and says, "It's true, and I scried on them. Tell them."
oh yeah, and yeah, Opal scried on them, and they're in there. Unless
Okay,
you're
so-
gonna doubt divination magic,
Wait here.
will do.
The other 2 turn and squiggle away inside.
You know, I'm getting quite good at dealing with these fire primordial people, I think.
They're quick to take offense, but then sound logic seems to simmer their flames. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
are you questioning our ability? No, I'm questioning the fact you're not willing to check this.
Yeah. All right.
You're a guard. I've warned you of potential threat. Yeah. Don't be complacent.
All right. So, funnily enough, they. Hold on 1 second. Oh god. All right. You see here. See here. Okay, perfect. All right. So, as they come back, they do seem to be escorting someone, and it is a familiar, very familiar sight. It's a merfolk, and she is kind of actually almost mimicking the same pattern of movement in the way they have these kind of snake-like tails. She has a mermaid-like body, and as she's moving, the guards don't seem to be like detaining her or anything. They just seem to be escorting them, and eventually they come to the entrance, and they say, "Is this the one you're looking for?"
Yep, that would be the one.
And they say, "Do not attempt any funny business. They are under our protection." Everyone can roll an insight check.
Oh, Kasham with the reading people's minds.
Yes, she is of great importance to us. We do not wish them any harm. Afterwards, we shall give them a massage and fetch them any drinks that they wish to. Yes. Not. They seem to be under some sort of charm spell. It's very obvious. Both of them.
Okay.
And Kashiko just sort of gives you a smile and says, yeah, you heard them, so don't try anything. Last time you tried to kill me. Let's play nice this time."
They're under
not
a-
here to
They're
try and
under a
kill
charm.
you.
They're under a charm
Okay.
spell. Get
Yeah.
it.
You guys gotta
As-
go, yeah?
Oh,
Alright, we're gonna wrap up real soon anyway. You gotta go. It seems as though Kashiko's very nonchalant. It's just like, look, we can make a deal here. You want your wizard back, don't you?
I mean, yes, that would be nice. Wait, how do you know our wizard's gone?
I've got some information. He is alive. He's okay. He got himself into a situation, but, you know,
I mean, it's Llewellyn, so 1 copper piece good enough for you? Ransom-wise?
no. In fact, I would let him do the talking, but he's not here just yet. He's on his way.
Right.
But I've been told that there's a trade to be made. I guess it's better he's the one who tells you, because you're not going to like it. And she seems to gesture towards you, Kashan.
he just narrows his eyes.
Karish just sort of goes, oh god, he hasn't, has he? He's gonna have gone and done that, hasn't he?
Yep.
Kashan,
What?
well, I'm gonna take a wild guess here. If he's done what I think he's done, you're gonna be far more pissed at him than you were at me a few minutes ago. Well, a few hours ago. However long ago it was. when you were pissed at me recently.
I'm still pissed at
Okay.
you.
Well, at least you'll have a better outlet for your anger. Someone who's, but then again, it might be positive. So
If you wish to see your wizard friend alive and well, then all you need to do is hand us the rest of those scrolls, and in exchange, we'll trade you the ones we have. The ones we're looking for are, and she does list them. They're all the ones that you've already done. The tongue
That's
of
talking
tongue
about
of sun and
trading.
moon.
That's talking about trading scrolls for scrolls. That's got nothing to do with trading for Llewellyn.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sorry, but this isn't some fucking prized possession to... There's no money worth. There's literally a man's life's work. What do you think you're going to get from it? Nothing. This is my training. This is to improve myself from the scum that I was, to be a better person, and you're...
Oh god.
I think I'm spiking or I'm echoing.
He's so
Oh,
angry
me?
that he's lost his accent.
Yeah. I'm pissed off because you're fucking trading my scrolls away. You're giving away my people. Next thing, I'm gonna get stabbed in the ass by Andy.
I mean, to be honest, I only gave some vague information.
And I didn't trade anything.
No, we're not going to make this fucking deal. Cameron
Let's
and
make
Kushan.
bygones be bygones, okay?
I don't
If
trust
any
this
harm
woman
comes
as
to
far
me-
as I can throw her. I'm sorry.
I'll
but
show
no,
you how
she's
far I can throw her.
shifty as
Listen,
heck.
if any harm comes to me, then I'm afraid Llewellyn is going to be in very dire straits. You might not see him for a while.
Well, if he's starting to trade away by scrolls, then he best be.
Yeah, to be fair, if that's the case, then he's betrayed a lot of our friends. So I think we'll wait for Llewellyn, and he can speak for himself. I don't like you. I don't trust you. I will wait.
All right, be my guest.
Would you mind coming with us back inside the monastery, because it's hot as balls out here for everyone but me?
The monastery is like ages away. I know you're still on this
Or-
map, but I'm just using it.
Or inside that building, you know, somewhere where these guys aren't going to slowly melt. And to be honest, I'm amazed you're surviving. I thought you'd be
Yeah.
fried fish by now.
It's pretty bad. Don't worry. I assure you. I want to get out of this place as quickly as you guys. So if we could make this quick, that'd be great.
Well, then we'll wait for Llewellyn so that we can hear his side and we know exactly where we stand. Because as much as I want to trust you, you're a merfolk, that's kind of like an important religious thing for me. So far, the only time that these, Kashan and Andy and possibly Irina have dealt with you has been in dire situations. I was willing to talk, but
Mhm.
everyone else,
Okay.
you know.
So Llewellyn, you find yourself being pulled through a pillar of fire. It is an unpleasant feeling, 100%. The worst feeling you've ever felt, most painful thing. But you are definitely being teleported through the plains and sent straight to here. In fact, I'll explain it a little bit further. What it felt like was all of the air that was surrounding you was like propelling you forward. Felt like you had sails on your arms that were just like flowing through, and you could feel this cool breeze. And then that breeze and all that air around you ignited, like it just burned into flames.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, but it did feel like you were flying for the first moment or two before suddenly being set ablaze. Yeah, your lungs feel like they've got liquid lava in them, and then finally, you have appeared right in front of Kashan. He looks about ready to punch Kashiko in the face.
Don't touch the bag!
Yeah.
Explain now.
Right. So, if you touch the bag,
I start chalking up my hands.
We
it
know
pulls
about
you
the
inside.
bag. We know. You moron.
Okay. Okay.
I went
okay,
inside
good.
and almost got eaten. I escaped.
I did get eaten. I was also turned to stone, and I've been to what I believe is the Apogee's main hideout.
Oh,
So, did you see the program delusion inside the bag as well?
yeah, it was like a blue guy, 4 hands, and wanted me to turn myself to stone.
Yeah, Zaban. He seems to be like the big boss around there. So, here is the deal. The trade is the bag that eats us for the Star Sapphire.
Yep, I can agree with that one.
Yeah,
I really don't want a bag that.
I don't want it. By
That's
the way, I
fine.
just hold it up.
Secondly, they asked about your scrolls, and so I said this wasn't a deal that I could make. It is completely down to you, Kashan, and you don't have to take it. Now,
Where are they?
well, you have the ones that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the rest of them.
I want my property of riot, so I'm going to burn their organization to the ground.
They have agreed.
I don't
give-
agree.
You don't agree to them giving you your scrolls back?
In exchange for mine.
No, not in exchange for yours. So, they have made copies of the ones you don't have, and they have put across that if you allow me to copy the ones you have, you get all your original scrolls back.
Counter offer. Counter offer.
That is
Give
the
me
only.
all my scrolls back, and I won't kill them now. After my pilgrimage, sure, I'll think about it. Because then I'll be
Then-
at peace with what I've done.
Then we don't get the Star Sapphire, and the Cloud Coast is doomed.
Well, ignoring the scrolls, can we just do the bag of devouring for the
No.
Star Sapphire?
I mean,
Because the scrolls for the scrolls.
that's
Honestly,
true.
that's not my business. But the Star Sapphire, if we have, I'm okay with that trade. The scrolls, on the other hand, not
Yeah,
up to me.
to be fair, that wasn't the thing. I guess we could still do that trade, but if you want to chase down and burn them to the ground, then that is that's something that I guess will happen. But if you want your scrolls back, your original scrolls, right here, well, I say right now, after a bit of copying, you can get them back pretty much almost immediately. Otherwise, they're going to keep them. And they're going to keep pursuing you for your scrolls, and you're going to keep pursuing them for their scrolls.
Well, then
You
tell
can
them
see
to
how
come
that's
here.
such a hassle.
Come here then.
I'm already right here.
Have you got my scrolls?
They're not here. You think I'm stupid?
Exactly. So why are you pursuing me without my scrolls? How about you come to me, I beat the shit out of you, and I'll take my scrolls.
I really just want this to be
Wait.
easy. Just take the simple route. You get your scrolls back, and we get to make a copy of yours. Simple.
After my pilgrimage, I'm more than happy to discuss, because I'll be more at peace of mind than what I am right now.
Sure.
How about you
can I
give
have a
back
word
what you
for a second?
stole?
I just had.
We're in an impasse. You've got what I want. I've got what you want. Let's just make the trade and go back to our normal business, normal lives.
I turn to Irina. I turn to Andy, because these two aren't making fucking sense to me.
Andy's not here, so I'm not going to speak for her. And I
Of
will
course,
just,
yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the property. They are the property of Kashan. I can understand the knowledge that's in them being
Property of my
important.
people.
Exactly. So I understand that. I have got your back. Whatever you want to do. I don't like this yacht one bit.
No.
Well, I haven't got anything on me right now, so taking me out is not going to help you.
No, I want you to take me to where they are.
I can't do that. Like, physically can't do that.
Right. Star Sapphire for the bag. Let's get that part done.
Yeah, let's
Before
do that.
dragons.
All right. She puts out her hand for the bag. Unless you want to reach in there.
No, I'm holding.
Nope.
I have the bag, but I'm gonna keep hold of the handle.
Oh,
while
yeah,
she
this-
does
this-
what she does.
Yeah, the Star Sapphire is in there, by the way. I did see it.
She eyes you up and says, "Give me the bag, and I'll pull the Star Sapphire out and hand it to you."
I'm literally giving her the bag, but I'm holding onto the handle. That's all I'm doing.
So there's no sneaky business.
I
Sneaky.
don't trust her. I don't trust you. But,
I don't trust you guys. You've tried to kill us twice now. You know how
because
much
you
that hurt?
stole from us.
Don't make it a third time.
That's
Look,
not how
just-
you don't
just
kill
stick to the
people for
deal.
stealing.
Stick to the deal. We're giving you the bag back in exchange for the sapphire. That's the deal.
Alright, she reaches inside the bag and pulls out a fluffy looking unicorn. Oh, wrong thing.
No, that's also a right thing.
She puts it back in there and she reaches in again. And you notice all the while she's not being pulled in like the rest of you guys were.
Yeah, can I have a perception check on that? I want
A
to see,
perception check.
like, is she mouthing something? Is she doing something with her hands? What is this command she's doing?
And no, I will say though, she is opening it up and like looking in, like she's showing her face and like looking in and reaching in. And then
Possibly some sort of facial recognition. Just as a quick question, does she have one of like the amulets with their symbol?
not on show, no. No. Anyway, she does pull out the Star Sapphire. Here. Can you let go first?
I would like to
Right here.
check that it's genuine. Because obviously using my legend lore, I would be able to tell if it was fake or not.
Yeah, you could. Yes. You can. Legend lore takes 10 minutes to cast, but if you want to just give me a
No,
quick.
but I've already done legend lore on the Star Sapphire, so I already know the information.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know. I'm just asking you if you want to confirm it's not an illusion or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But
I
yeah,
want to confirm
it
that
does
it's
look.
real.
All right, so she pulls out a beautiful looking gem. It is perfectly oval in shape, and as she hands it in the light, you can see it reflecting, and there seems to be several overlapping crisscrosses of light. And at the moment, it seems to be reflecting like this kind of orangey glow. But they are like so perfectly smooth. There's not like a single looking what's the word? Like imperfection on them. And if anyone's actually seen Star Sapphires in real life, they are quite a marvel to behold. They're insanely cool.
They're an actual thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I see.
The
That's pretty
Star
cool.
Sapphire is cut
Oh, yeah,
in
those
such a way that, I mean, you just need to Google the image and you'll have a look for yourself. But
Yeah.
they're not. Funnily enough, as you look at it, it's not as big as what you was expecting it to be. You was expecting it to perhaps be this massive thing like the Arkenstone or something, but it's actually only about this big, like a pebble, pretty much.
But with that sort of size of it, it would make perfect jewelry on a dragon for like a wedding ring or something like that.
Essentially, yes, exactly. But yeah, it is like a perfect six-pointed star, and that just glitters within the warm light of the elemental plane of fire.
So, by the way, Chris,
Hmm.
have I got all my stuff on me?
Nope. You've got your book and your robes, and that's it.
Kashiko, where's my stuff?
That stuff's being deposited into the bag right now. But as you remember, it seems like you mispronounced the deal. It was also potentially, if you want the rest of your stuff back, this was to make sure that you were going to actually go through with it. But hey,
What do you mean, go through with it?
oh, about the scrolls.
No, that wasn't a part of it. I said that isn't my decision to make. That is Kashan's decision to make.
Sure.
But that wasn't for my items. That was the scrolls and the scrolls alone.
Well, that's, this doesn't seem like, wait, what? Hold on. She's, I'm getting information. Hold on. She seems to be like getting a sending spell potentially. Like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Alright. So she turns back to you, Kashan, and says, do you want your scrolls back, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Allow us to make copies of your existing ones, and you can have them back.
I will
And
allow
Llewellyn, you can
my
have all your
scribe to make copies of them, and you can have them.
Alright. Let's do it. Shall we? And
I
she
have to
gestures
prepare.
inside.
I wish for a few hours alone with Llewellyn.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Llewellyn.
As he is going to be the only person within my group who knows the contents of these scrolls. And after that, yourselves.
Oh my god, I feel so special.
Okay. I'll be inside. If you need hold on. She hands out ink and paper from the bag as well and hands it to you. Hands it to you, Irina, I guess.
Take them and inspect
I'll
that
be
they are
inside.
not inked or something.
They just look like normal ink and paper. It looks like it has. You did see and feel around in the bag when you was looking for Llewellyn. You did feel like all of the ingredients for a normal adventurer's pack, like grappling hooks and stuff.
Wait,
Rope.
is my arrow gone?
I've got your arrow in here. She kind of like holds out the bag.
I will. Anything happens to that, I will kill you.
You already tried to do that twice.
Third time's
As
the
Kashan
charm.
said, it'll be the third time.
Ugh.
And this time, I won't let you get away.
Cats have 9 lives. How many do fish have?
I could easily have counterspelled your escape
You didn't.
because we had what we needed.
Right, shut
Alright.
up. Let's get on with this.
Yeah, let's
get
go.
on. That's literally what she says as well. She's like, I don't need to hear all these threats. She yawns.
So
Oh, God.
I'm going to lead
Yeah.
Llewellyn
Yeah.
to some form of room
She
alone.
has.
Yeah, you could head back to the monastery to do it there if you wanted.
Yep.
Okay.
She has my
Alright.
arrow.
Just
I'm so pissed
take
off.
me to a private room.
I didn't know you felt that way about me.
Alright.
I mean, I'm not.
Don't think now
my-
is
my
the
character-
time for jokes.
I'm saying this out of character.
Cool.
Okay, where'd you go?
So
There
we're
we
going
go.
to a private room. Awesome.
The kitchen, perfect.
Awesome. So first thing I do.
Yeah. Oh, get right next to him. Hold on, Kashan. Go select your token. Now target Llewellyn, and now do it. So good.
Shield.
Did you see that?
Does your
Shield.
shield stop at 29?
29? You had a 16.
How many
Yeah,
of
you
guys
think
saw
he's
the
got
animation?
that? He gets a
Oh.
hit. I'm leaving it there.
Did you see
No.
the animation?
No.
No?
Di-
Do it again. You'll have a look.
I'm still quite injured, Kashan.
Oh, nice. Well, you
Oh,
deserve
okay.
it. You
Why?
idiot.
What did I do?
Do you think I'm going to tell you the contents of my scrolls?
No.
You're not even going to be privy to that. No, we're going to forge them.
Okay. But I never, like I said, I
Mm.
didn't trade your scrolls. I told them it was your decision because they're your scrolls.
Sounded like you partially agreed to it, considering you bargained with your own items.
I didn't know I was bargaining with my own items.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they have something that means a lot to me right now. I would not have allowed them to touch that of their free will.
Well, they didn't take your book.
No, they took my arrow.
Your arrow?
It's the last possession that I have that connects me to my mother and father. One who is dead and the other one who's stuck in the shattered capital.
Okay, maybe I can share you a couple of details of the scrolls or
Oh.
two.
I mean,
Okay.
you don't have to.
No,
I
we're
just-
still going to forge them, but
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that on you. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, I wouldn't make a decision for your items. It's not my place to do that.
Well then, let's make one together.
Yeah.
And we'll get all of our items back.
But an option came up for you to get them back, so I said, it's down to you. Why not? You make the decision.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment, and I'm sorry I hit you.
So let's get started, and I reach into my robes, I guess.
Okay.
If they've taken my outer contents,
They
What-
have anything that was on your outer order, yeah.
if I still have my robes, then Quincy should still be inside there.
You would have Quincy, yeah. Basically, what they did when you were petrified is they chiseled out your belongings, but they didn't want to damage anything, so they just basically where you had your hand or your hook for your book, they just kind of like chiseled out and knocked the book off.
Amazing.
Okay.
Well, at least I still have you. Want to help us out a little, buddy?
Right, yes, on your forehead.
Oh God, because do you have parchment, Kashan?
They gave parchment and ink.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you?
Okay, right.
All right. So I'm guessing you're gonna go back get Irina for this.
Hmm?
No. Who's scribing?
It's not.
gonna be
Velen.
It's not Quincy. Sorry, it's Soros. And
It's
Soros.
sorry. It is sorry. Yeah.
Soros has the best calligraphy in terms of, I would assume, copying.
He does. Yeah.
I mean, in fact, I trust Irina. I'll bring Irina in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
At 200 feet a second, I go and grab Irina.
Irina's literally
nice.
just sat there with like the parchment and the ink, just miffed that Llewellyn's the one who got called in when this is her profession.
Okay, right. Llewellyn, get out. Don't care
Yeah,
about your arrow anymore. Your subs.
I will allow Sorrow to bounce over to Irina. So, magical calligraphy quill can help.
Okay, so this is the plan. Obviously, we're not going to give every single secret under the sun that Ladovu had planned. So we're going to make a bunch of shit up. I was thinking everything that we went through in the archipelago, everything that saved our asses, we put the opposite.
Can I just make a little suggestion? Obviously, because it's getting quite late. I have the weekend off. I would
Yeah, we are
actually
going to wrap it
like
up in
to-
about
I
3
would
minutes.
like to actually sit and write the forged document.
Okay.
For next session. Can I do that?
I am about for a little bit on Sat tomorrow. Or
That tomorrow.
Sat tomorrow.
That could be really
So-
interesting to read out next session.
So,
Or
that'd be
if
fun.
not, we can choose time during the week if you'd like.
so what
When
if
you're
they
not tired.
want to
Do you want to do the roll now, or should we save it? It's up to you.
do the roll now? Do the roll now.
There is a
Yes, it
forgery
depends.
roll to be made.
It depends on what we write as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Do the roll now. Do the
There
roll.
is.
Because if anything, your roll can determine how botched it is.
Or
So
how
shit.
good it is.
So surely you
But,
should.
no,
do
but
the
I
roll
think
now.
there shouldn't be a role. I think there should be a creativity.
I mean, because it's not really forgery, because they're not forging a signature or something. They're basically reading a
I'm-
document and then making up their own version of the document. That's not
I am a
forging.
scribe by profession. It's not a forgery. I am literally qualified to make a copy. All I'm doing is changing the text.
So
which is why I'm suggesting
interesting-
let me actually write it.
And because they don't even know what was on there to begin with,
Okay.
but
they
what
have
if they want?
nothing. They have nothing to compare.
But what
the
if they want to
document to?
compare?
Well,
What if?
it's literally going to be like if somebody hands you Arabic written down, and they're like, "Cool, scribe this," and they write it in English. You don't
Okay.
know what it is.
Yeah, because remember, they can't easily read his scroll.
I can't even easily read them.
Wait, are you? What are you transcribing it into a different language?
No, I'm
No, but
transcribing it
the
common.
scrolls themselves require the frozen flame in order to be deciphered normally, so they
Yeah.
can't just hold them up and compare them. They'll look completely different regardless.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
what I'm saying, if you have two pieces of paper that both say the word one on it, and you don't know that language, you're still going to notice that the word one and the word one doesn't
Yeah,
look the same.
but it's not so much the language; it's like constantly shifts and stuff. The actual scrolls. It's why like Kashan needs the frozen flame in order to ever even read them.
Yeah, I'm
So
just saying.
how they've even read the others, who knows?
I'd say it's probably more like comparing Japanese to English.
I mean, you've
Or,
already seen.
Like,
You've seen. In answer to your question, James, I guess you've seen what happens when they try to. This monastery have tried to adapt those teachings,
Yeah.
but you could tell their form was off. You could tell there was a little bit of either miscommunication within the text potentially.
Thing is obviously
Okay.
with Irina's mother being from the very same monastery, I
mhm.
have some semblance of some of their teachings, but obviously I wouldn't be able to necessarily
Yeah.
understand it in the same level
Okay.
as someone who actually came there from there.
Well, it is time. I think we'll call it here. But I like the idea of potentially copying out, seeing what you come up with in terms of the Temple of the Sun. Well, it's going to be the Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon, the Scroll of Sun and Moon, and as well as the Scroll of Wholeness of Body are the two major ones, I believe.
You've got the actual like bits for that, yeah?
No, Chris never gave me a document.
So I can tell you all about it. Anyways, we will end tonight's session here, though. Oh, interesting. Oh, Llewellyn's alive and back. Quicker than what I expected, but still.
Yay. I mean, yay.
You say quicker than you expected, but you're the one that saved me.
Yeah, but you could have easily. I mean, Zarban's quite a chill dude, but you could have easily got out of hand and
Nah.
been more aggressive.
Nah,
in which case it would have just kept you there.
that doesn't
Yeah,
sound
like-
like me. That sounds like
like
Kashan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine if they'd got Kashan or maybe Irina, depending.
You said a couple of convincing things, such as you want to go to the Shattered City and find Senrith, which again aligns with their things, and you can trade the scrolls over, which is something they're after, it looks like. But what are the Syndicate Apogee looking for? What is their end goal? That is going to remain an enigma, it seems.
Because
For now, though.
they don't even know.
Well, that's what you got on a 15. Maybe you could have read more, but it was hard to read Zarban. He's a very kind of motionless, autonomous-like being. What kind of being was that? I've never seen a blue-skinned, hairless, four-armed humanoid like that before. But anyway, and where were you? Where was this place? Where is their hideout? If it is even in a plane of existence to begin with. Too many questions, but for now, it looks like Llewellyn's back, and you do have a way to get your scrolls. So with that, I think we'll end on a positive note, and hope the next session this little stunt goes off well for you guys. Till then, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.